The Leaving Today podcast, the show about the news, history, and attractions of the Disneyland Resort.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But where are we going?
To Neverland.
Neverland.
Hello. Welcome to the Leaving Today podcast, episode number 160. Nice even number. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, this morning, this afternoon. However you're doing it, we very much appreciate it. My name is Mark, one of the co-hosts here. Tonight, sitting to the left of me is the Trail Master of Puppets himself, Udi.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Jess is taking the night off. She promises she'll be at the next show. She's been working a lot right now, and that's cool. But so we actually were just talking to her right before the show, and that's all. But we got to record, so here we are.
Here we go.
Hey, if this is your first time tuning into the show, downloading the show, thank you so much for doing it. We very much appreciate it. We hope that you'll find the water to be very, very warm here. If you like an open and honest discussion about Disneyland parks, Disneyland resorts, and the company, you've come to the right place. You are amongst friends because we kind of keep it real. We talk about pretty much everything going on.
Yep.
If you are not a new listener, welcome home. All right, if you'd like to support the show, because tonight's show is sponsored by you guys, after all, the listeners, you can do that through our Patreon. We have it at leavingtodaypodcast.com. Click on the Patreon link and make it super simple for you. $1, $3, $5, like a one-time charge or monthly charge, whatever. And for that, you get to be on the show. You get some swag. And yeah, that is that. Also, you can follow us on Instagram at Leaving Today Podcast. We seem to connect with a lot of people that way. We had a really cool pre-show this evening, so thank you so much for everyone that tuned in.
Everyone who hopped on.
Yeah, some familiar faces, some new faces, some really good discussion. Just to give you kind of a little bit of a taste of it, we usually go on for about 25 to 30 minutes before the show.
Yep.
Today we're on the for well over an hour.
Well over an hour. People kept on hopping on. It was great.
Yes, and we loved it.
Yep.
Before we get into tonight's show, because we're going to have a special guest on tonight. Well, not a guest. He's a friend of the show, for sure.
Yep.
We'll be talking to Sam Carter from Carter Creative. To talk to him a little bit later. But before we get to that show, I want to do a quick shout out to Becky.
Hey, Becky.
Hey, Becky. She sent us a very kind message the other day. I'm not going to read it, but just to suffice to say, it was very well written, and it meant a lot to us.
Yeah, that was very, very cool to read.
Yeah, we do consider you to be part of the family, too.
Yep.
And we are very happy that we can, help your day, whatever it is, get along or get through your day, and with some laughter and some whatever it is we do. I don't know what we do.
Yeah.
Witty banter.
Yeah. And honestly, when we get messages like that, it makes everything that we do. I mean, some people may think it's cliche, but it's very true. We do a lot of work. Well, Mark does a lot of the work to get this going and done. And when we get messages like that, it just makes it, it's like incredibly humbling. Like it is, and it is so nice to hear that, people connect with us at this level. And Becky, thank you for writing that. I don't have the words to tell you how much that meant to the three of us. And we're glad you're part of the family, and you will always be a part of the family, even though you don't always get to listen, and people don't always get to listen. But, we're here, and we keep on going, and we will always welcome new people in. And thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart. And I know Jess and Mark feel the same. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that message. It was very, very kind and very, I don't know. It always hits me when I hear things like this, and her message. So thank you, and I'm glad you're doing well. Congrats on the baby, and I'm glad all that's going well. And anytime you want to reach out and talk or whatever, hey, you know what to do.
Yeah, you can even be on the show.
Anytime you want to just jibber jabber and talk and whatever, then hey, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, I mean, we happen to know the people that do the show, so we can put a good word.
Yeah, I think we can be like, hey, can you maybe get this person on? I think we can make that happen. Maybe.
We can make it happen, yes.
So again, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
And then one more thing before we get to the opening questions, some sort of announcement, a winner?
Yeah.
Or something.
So maybe a little while back now, I can't even think how long it's been. It's been a couple of months maybe now. We had a little contest, and the contest was for the sign from our good friend Jay sent over at Interactive Realm. And if you go back to that episode, which I don't even know how many back now, 3, 4. Anyway, so there were 3 questions in that, and we got a few people that had a couple of them right, but we got one who got them all right. Now, the questions were 1.
I don't even know the answers.
Okay. 1, how did Jason get connected with the show? 2 would have been, who did Jason make his first sign for? Mm-hmm. And the 3rd one was, what was his Mount Rushmore?
Yes.
Okay. So there was one person, and that would have been Aaron.
Aaron, yes.
Aaron, and then Mark will be sending you a DM, letting you know that you won. That way you can figure out, and then we can facilitate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
So the answers for everybody.
Well, what does he win again? He won
a sign of his choice from Interactive Realm.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
yeah. So Aaron, that is you. So where are they? Okay. How did Jason get hooked up with the show? And that would have been through Christy. So Christy happens to know him, roommates, and that is how he got in touch with us through her. Secondly, was the first sign that he ever made was for Christy's daughter, Maya. And then his Mount Rushmore, it's Pirates, Big Thunder, and Matterhorn.
Well, there's 4 things.
Yeah, I remember the last one.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Oh, and Space.
And Space Mountain.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Aaron, you won. Mark, like I said, Mark is going to DM you, and then you get to pick it out, and then we will either facilitate that through, or we'll put you in touch with Jay.
Yes.
But anyway, congratulations. You're the one who knew all the ins and outs of that one.
Yeah.
So, cool. And we haven't seen you for a while. I hope you and the kids and the whole family is doing well.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Okay. So, now let's go to the opening question. We had 2 of them this evening. First one came from Seth, and he said, what do you think Walt would be most proud about in the parks right now, right? Or the most happy with?
Yep.
Okay, and I always caution this type of what would Walt say, do, because we honestly...
We don't know.
We don't know. No one knows. So anyone that gives you an honest answer is just... I mean, they need to preface it by saying they really have no idea. And in fact, if Walt were alive today and we worked with him, we would have no idea what he would say.
No, because when you look at the history, most of the people who worked with him didn't know what he was going to do.
No, not at all. And that was some of the beauty of that. So we're going to make our best educated, fun guess as to what that is.
Correct.
So what would Walt be happy about right now? Most?
I would go... and it may be the easy one, and I will explain why. It would be Rise. And the reason why I think it would be a 2-faceted rationale as to why. One, the technology.
Yeah.
The mere ability to do that and present that grandiose idea and deliver convincingly, I think he would be very, very happy with that. I think he would be, because he was always pushing for more, always pushing for trying to figure out, innovating with the Imagineers and everybody trying to do more and more and more and more and more. So to have that culmination of all those different technologies come together in that attraction, I think you'd be blown away by.
Yeah.
And I think the other arc of it would be the story. I think, recognizing the story that you're walking through and you're riding through, I think would be the other thing that I'd be happy with, because the immersion of everything he did was to bring you in and pull you away from reality and bring you into the world, whatever they were trying to do, whether it be Main Street or Fantasyland or anything. It was about pulling you into that and making that your reality, not the outside of the berm. So the fact that, you go into that attraction and then you completely get immersed into them. The second you drop into the cave in the queue, you're pulled into that world all the way till you're spit out at the end. And even though when you get spit out at the end, you get spit out into Galaxy's Edge, which you are still immersed in that world. So I think those are the two things that he would be most happy with as far as that attraction goes. Other than that, I think, I could tell you what I think he might be disappointed in, but, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. But yeah, I think for me, that would be the one that I think he'd be most be like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think he'd be happy. And I think, in my mind's eye, I can see him coming off that attraction being like, yeah, like blown away. Like, how many thousands upon thousands about that? Tens of thousands of people have felt that way coming off of that attraction.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. For me, I think it's a couple things. I think he would be happy with what the resort looks like and what they've done with DCA, because, when they just got the land and they started building stuff, and when the park was just about done, they had no money left. And they had no money to even buy surrounding properties. And other investors, other companies came in and started building things up. And I know he was very upset about that because it started looking like Las Vegas around there. But I think he'd be happy with how they've used the land to have another theme park there, such as a big park like DCA, and have done all that stuff. I also think he'd be happy with how the park looks, because he died just months after New Orleans Square opened. So he never got to see the full Pirates in real time. I think he'd be happy that is somewhat of a time capsule. Like, oh my gosh, and how beautiful the landscaping is around the Haunted Mansion, all that stuff. I think he'd be stoked about that. And to go on to what Udo was saying, yes, the technology in Rise, he would have said, oh my gosh, how is this? How are we doing that? So I think he would have a lot to be thankful for and like a lot. But I think honestly he would like how the park looks and how we get that gap. But anyways, okay, so that was a great question. And again, we don't know. We just trying to guess with our best educated guess, if I find guess. The next question came from Robbie Von Roll. That is from the Von Roll Skyway family. He came in with a question that said, hey, what would you guys think if all the Disney parks had the Skyliner like they do at the Walt Disney World resort? It's funny that I don't know the proper name to that. People call it Disney, and I'm not a big fan of that. Like, I'm going to Disney, because I think that might be an East Coast thing. Because here they go, I'm going to Disney. I go, what, Disneyland? What do you, Disney World? Anyways, Walt Disney World Resort. How there's a Skyliner that connects a bunch of the lands out there, or different parks, I should say, not the lands. So his question was, what would we think if all the parks had something like that? Yeah, I would be down with that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how. You could build a small one that connected DCA to Disneyland. I remember there's some talk about that. At some point.
In all reality, you could do that, and they could make it longer. I mean, you could make your loading where you, I mean, the loading and, you know, the chalets, you know, where you're going to go on and off. You could make that deeper in each park. I mean, you could, I mean,
From the parking structure, you mean?
I mean, no. But I mean, yeah, you could do that. You could do that. I mean, you could go to a corner. I mean, if you look at it this way, if they get their Disney Forward going,
Yeah.
you think about the potential in that arena. That is like, boom, my head explodes
Yeah.
with that. Like,
Yeah.
holy crap! And then you could run easily. You could run into DCA. You know, the reality is you could elevate. All you needed to do was elevate everything. You don't need to. I mean, okay. For all of you who don't remember, the Skyway buckets were elevated, or Skyway, the loading zones and the queues were up a little bit higher. Okay, which makes sense. You couldn't drop all the way down to ground level. It would not be that difficult to literally put the queues up high, like elevate them up a good 20, 30 feet into the air. You could do that quite easily.
Yeah.
Okay, and then if you elevated that, did everything you need to do for you know, ADA requirements and everything like that, you could make that happen. They already do make that happen throughout the park. If you did that, you could literally hop them and make them go to different parts. You could make one drop off in Tomorrowland. You could make one drop off in DC. You could make one drop over to if they did Forward. You could have one drop off in Downtown Disney. You could have the park like right off the, you know, third to fourth story on the third story of the parking structure. All those things could all happen. I don't think it'd be very difficult. You could make it happen. I think it would be amazing. I think it would be absolutely amazing, and I would do it just like riding the old-fashioned train around.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, I mean, in the same idea, in the same vein, you can ride the monorail, you can ride the train. Any of that, you look at that, and that is all-encompassing. There is no reason why you could not do that. There's no reason why we can't have a monorail in the DCA either, by the way. I recognize why they don't do it.
Sure.
But think about that ability. You could have that quite easily. You could have a station over there. You could make it happen.
Sure, of course.
So absolutely that they could have the Skyway and they could have them all connecting there. They could easily, well, not easily, but they could figure that out. And I think it would be amazing because none of us have made it, you know, a secret how much we feel and miss our Skyway buckets.
Right.
And again, you know, for anybody who has never got the opportunity to actually ride that, I'm sorry. And you missed a certain thing that made that a very unique experience going through the park. And anybody who's ridden it can look back and go like, yeah, I remember that. Mm-hmm. I remember, like I said, coming over from Tomorrowland into Fantasyland at night. Oh, man. A sight that I will never see again in my life, which, well, at this time.
Well, like I said before, you get glimpses when you're on the Matterhorn at night, and you're on the Fantasyland set. And it's just small little flashes in your memory that trigger for me. People who hadn't gone on it, they see it. It may just totally escape them, but it's not lost on us.
No.
But it isn't the same thing. Anyway. Okay. Well, yeah. So the answer is yes, Robbie. We would love to have a Skyliner at all the parks. Now, I must say I'm not well versed with Tokyo, how that's set up, but I imagine it would go great there. I know that Shanghai has one park. Yeah, they don't have a downtown. I don't think they have a downtown. And Paris has a downtown section, I think, too. So I think all parks should do it.
Yeah,
I would love it, especially if Von Roll got the bid. Okay.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing. Like I think out of like respect for the history and everything with that, I think it'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it'd be great.
Hey, before we get to the news, Udi has a quick story from one of our listeners, Seth. So why don't you go ahead and read that?
Yeah, and like I said a little bit earlier in the live, that this is one of the reasons why going to the park can be such a cool, unique thing, because you never know who you're going to run into the park. I mean, who do we run into?
Well, Marcy.
Yeah, but didn't we run into a certain little princess that one time?
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Padme, yes.
Yeah, we ran into Padme's park.
Natalie Portman, for sure.
No pictures, though. No pictures.
Well, no, I still have I got Yana for that.
I know.
Okay.
Anyway, you never know who you're going to run into. Anyway, So I'm going to read this as quickly as I can. We got this from Skittle Muffin Seth. Cool thing happened yesterday. We were at the park, and my daughter saw a guy in an Ahsoka shirt and commented that she liked it. He asked if she was an Ahsoka fan. From her ears, he could see she was. He said, I work at Lucasfilm, and I make her armor. I want to give you something, and gave her a belt, a belt buckle, Ahsoka. Her a belt, Ahsoka buckle. I'm just reading it.
A belt buckle from Ahsoka?
Right, that they used on the show since she was the first Ahsoka fan he saw all day. We thanked him and went outside to sit and have our snacks. About 5 minutes later, he saw us sitting there and asked if he wanted to see pictures of the armor he made for the new show. We said yes. Obviously, while scrolling through his phone, I saw pictures, and I saw that Sabine, and he saw Sabine.
Okay.
He said, I saw a picture and said, was that Sabine? He said, yes, let me show you. And he showed me pictures of the actress in costume. Then he showed us Ezra in costume.
Yeah, live action Ezra, yeah.
Correct. And Rosario in 2 different outfits, including, now this is the one, a new one that I hadn't seen before. Then he asked if we knew the girl that played young Gamora in Marvel, and we said yes. Then he showed us pictures of her dressed as Clone Wars Ahsoka.
Oh.
I'm shivering because that is one of my favorite iterations of Ahsoka by far.
Oh, okay.
I said, cool, so that means flashbacks. Doesn't that mean Darth Vader? He said, yes. And Anakin, and showed me pictures of Hayden as Clone Wars Anakin. I cannot tell you how big that is.
Is that what he wrote?
No, this is what he wrote. This is all he's telling me.
Okay, I'm not sure if this is you talking.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
this
okay.
is no. I said I cannot. My part was I cannot tell you how crazy it is. He showed me a set photo of Rosario on set with him and John in the background.
What?
He said they are going to wrap filming on October 14th, and it should be out next fall.
Next fall, 2023.
Yep. Then he sent me a photo.
Oh, wow. How cool is that?
I cannot tell you how amazing that is, because what in that one interaction, he just confirmed everything that I wanted.
Yeah.
In that. So anyway, there you go. So there are 2 things right there that you obviously, well, there's many, but the 2 main things you're going to take away are, 1, this is why you go to the park.
Okay, yeah, just real quick. Derek's busting at the seams. He wants to say something.
My brother is right here.
Okay, because he's sitting across from me.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a mic. He's holding it back. Derek, what is on your mind real quick here?
How many NDAs did this guy break?
Oh, I know, right?
He could be in so much trouble right now if they find out. Are you sure? Because all I could think is, isn't he not supposed to tell anybody? They're all like, aren't they all sworn to secrecy?
Yeah,
like,
they
for
must have
anything.
Yeah, I would guess so.
So the fact that he was just showing a random person this, and then it's going to end up on your guys' podcast, who people listen to, and I hope he doesn't get in trouble, because what he shared was awesome, and so many different things we could just take away from what he showed her.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, Udi, you're gonna want to say all that too. But holy moly, that's so awesome, so awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Derek.
Anyway, so going back to that,
Yeah.
we already knew about Ezra,
Yes, I'm still. Ezra's one of my favorite characters.
and we could pretty much, for everybody who has been following along, we could pretty much guess that we're probably going to get some form of, because Hayden had gotten signed to Ahsoka and been confirmed. So the only way that really worked would be either him. Yeah.
He did he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's
so
great.
either he was going to be flashback, and they already played with that in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. They did both. They gave him flashback and Darth. So the fact that he kind of confirmed that is amazing. And for whatever reason, the picture isn't loading, but he sent a picture of the buckle that he gave her.
Okay, yeah.
And he also sent a picture of Ahsoka, and for whatever reason, it's not loading up on my phone. Actually, so sent the picture of the Rosario in Ahsoka. Huh? Already, yeah. And they and it has the belt buckle, and he actually sent a picture of the belt buckle sitting on his table, and then the picture, like, this is the belt buckle that is in that picture. Again, we never know. That is the beauty of that place. That because so many people go there,
Yeah.
and you just never know who you're going to run into,
Magic
who
happens,
you're going
right?
to see. Magic happens.
Yeah, it does.
Anyway, so for everybody who's a Star Wars fan, I think all of you are going, holy crap, like I did. And then for anybody who's a Disney fan, going, holy crap, that's really cool because of where it is.
Yep.
So anyway, yeah, I thought it was amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm not worried about Disney hearing this.
No, I don't care.
No, I still say that if Disney ever heard us, they'd be like, yeah, we're never going to put them. We're never going to be under a Disney banner. We criticize them too much. But anyway.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we say all the time. Like, we're honest about it, and we call them out all the time.
Yeah, we're never going to get a media pass.
No, we're never going to be those guys walking through like, hey, look, we're going to do the Wayne and Garth like.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
no, we're never going to do that.
Not doing that.
No. Anyway,
No,
there you go.
There we go. Well, thank you, Seth, for sending that in.
Yeah.
And
Very cool.
awesome stuff.
Like, I can't wait. Now, I mean, I already was on that whole, like, I can't wait. And the fact that we get one of my favorite version of Ahsoka, and then we get Ezra, which, and then we get Sabine. We already knew Sabine, but to get Ezra, and we know all that's coming, and everything that's coming out of that is amazing.
I'll just preface this by saying that manage your expectations with all this.
Oh, dude, yeah, I know already.
Okay, I know. All right, well, with that, we're going to end the first part of the show, and now we're going to go over to the news.
You listen to me now. You are talking about things that you do not understand.
Yeah, our crack reporters have been digging deep. Here we are in I think is the fourth quarter, starting of 2022. The fall is fully underway.
It is upon us, and everyone go get your pumpkin, whatever.
Yeah, pumpkin, whatever it is.
Yeah, I fell into that already. I hate that.
Okay. Well, the first news item is Disney seems to have already confirmed that Merriest Nites will not be returning to Disneyland this winter, this holiday season. Last year, it was a limited run, hard ticket after hours event during the winter holidays. Since Disney had not yet made any announcements regarding the possible return, it was assumed that Merriest Nites would not be back. Disney has now confirmed this rumor. I don't know what to say about that. I like the concept.
Yeah.
Do you need a special ticketed event for that? I don't know.
I'm gonna. Okay. my thought is no. Because the one thing, and anybody who's a lover of the park and goes and has been there during that time of year recognizes how well Disney in general does Christmas.
Sure.
It is amazing. And why would you? Why?
I don't know. I mean, like, let's say we're a family from, I don't know, Montana or something, and we come out, hey, we're going to go to Disneyland for, holidays. Oh, great. And we go on a Tuesday night and Wednesday night. Well, both nights, we have to get out by 6 because of a ticketed event. I'm going to be kind of upset.
Yeah.
Of course, we would have probably known that going into
Yeah,
it,
but
most
not
people don't.
everybody. No.
So I can sort of see why they're pulling back on this.
Mm-hmm.
But if they did a Disneyland After Dark one night or maybe 2 nights with this, I think I might be more supportive of that. But cool. Good. I'm kind of glad that they got rid of that. All right.
Yeah.
Next news item is the Hulk meet and greet debuts at Adventures Campus in DCA. There's no need to get angry. The wait is over, and the Hulk has officially arrived at Adventures Campus in Disney's California Adventure. Sorry, Disney California Adventure. There's no plural in that anymore. I think that's already come and gone by the time the show's going to air.
What?
The Hulk.
I will let me. How do I want to put it? I don't care.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Yeah, I mean, the meet and greets have never been anything I was interested in. I know some people love it. I just do not care. I do like the fact that they have this technology that can make this character bigger. They could use this with Baymax, I assume.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
They're already going to do it.
Okay. I think people were kind of upset that he's not actually Hulk. He's wearing this time travel costume.
Well,
What?
you know why they did that, right?
Is it for some sort of theme?
No.
I have no idea.
In my opinion, it was a cop-out because they could not do the face.
Like, oh, they didn't.
No,
have,
they can't do the face right.
Okay.
They probably can't. They couldn't reliably get the animatronics in the face to work all the time.
Okay.
Because if you have looked at some of the video of it, it's very interactive and
Yes.
personal. To get that to work right, I bet you they couldn't quite get it right.
Sure.
So working eyes or whatever, that's easy. You can get them to go up, go down, squint, open, all that. But to have the mouth move with the verbiage and how you're talking.
Yeah.
So to me, the fact that there is no reason for him to be in the full Avenger time traveling.
Sure.
Yeah. Unless they're trying to be like, hey, this is the last. But, they have She-Hulk now.
Okay.
Yeah, to me, there's no reason for him to be in that other than that. And then, I mean, in all reality, then it probably won't be too difficult for them to transfer over to Baymax when they...
Sure.
Because, I mean, D23, and we'll wind up talking about that, I'm sure, with Sam. They did talk about what they're going to do with San Francisco and what
Yep.
they're trying to do. And I thought, holy crap. I'm all in for that.
I'm curious to see Sam's thoughts on that. I bet he's.
Oh,
stoked.
I know. And that is going to be the quite that's why I'm so glad. That's why I said we got to talk to Sam because of a lot of the ideas that they came up with. I'm like, that one to me made me go like, hey now.
Yeah.
That could be very cool.
Oh yeah, I think it could be cool.
Very cool. And they have the right area. And if they have the right rationale, right thinking, and they do that right, that could be pretty badass. And I think even Jess was like, ooh, I'm all in. I'm like, I think we all kind of went like, yes, please.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, and that's when my thought is like, maybe they go, okay, we're going to prototype it out. We're going to let it run. We're going to have a limited run. We're going to get all the going because once you go to Baymax doesn't.
He blinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, blink, blink,
Yep.
blink, blink.
Yeah.
Ba la la. That's about it. So to me, it makes sense that they would do this because they can easily transfer that idea and technology on over to Baymax. And I don't think we're going to be getting Hulk again. To be real, I think this version will go away.
Okay.
Yeah, because Baymax is roughly, I think that Baymax is roughly the same size as this Hulk.
Okay. Well, we shall see how.
It's in that ballpark. Yeah.
But I mean, really, let's remember who this is for. This is for the young. This is for the kids who love this stuff, and that's great. They're probably stoked seeing this.
Yeah, and to me, if a kid goes up there and sees the Hulk and is all about it, I'm like, good. Like, go
Yep.
enjoy that.
For
Go
sure.
wrap you, give him a hug and be like, okay, whatever it is, because we know there's going to be plenty of Hulk fans and little kids that love the Hulk. And yeah, that's part of the beauty of it. Mm-hmm. So even though we can critique it left and right as an adult, for a little kid, like, man, go, if that is what you want to go do, go love on that and go get hyped and enjoy that because that's going to be one thing they're not going to forget.
Yeah, and I mean, what brings us up with Sam is like, I want Avengers Campus to do well. I want it to be good. It's just not my thing.
No, and we've talked about it. The potential,
yes,
is there.
It's fully there. Yeah.
Much like Galaxy's Edge, when we had that 2.5 year wait,
Yeah.
and we still have that knowledge or thought of like it hasn't reached its full potential yet. And definitely Avengers Campus falls into that thought process of not even more than what Galaxy's Edge has done. I mean, so yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. I want that to be thriving and to be alive and to have that feeling because at night, the cool parts about Avengers Campus are, as per usual, would be, the tower would be Mission Breakout, and then having the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Yep.
Again, anybody who's not been there yet or hasn't gone at night, go to the Sanctum Sanctorum at night.
Sure.
It is beautiful.
Well, even the Adventures headquarters at night.
Yes,
That
but
blue?
yeah,
Yeah.
the blue, and then, but like I said, you go to Mission Breakout, and we all know that now. It's been there long enough, and we all recognize how beautiful that tower is at night.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many pictures I have of it light up at night, and I have a few good ones with mist in the air. I have some amazing pictures of that. You know, not to toot my horn, but they were pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Of that tower. And I have great ones of the Sanctum Sanctorum. I really want to be able. I really hope that I am fortunate enough to be in that sanctum on a foggy night or early foggy morning. I would love to take pictures of it lit up, the cube lit up there at night with mist. Oh,
Yeah.
it'd be amazing. But anyway,
Especially with your iPhone 14. Hey, news is
I don't have
sponsored
one.
by
Yeah,
Apple.
yeah, I
I'm
don't have
joking.
one.
One last thing, and I don't want to go on a tangent about this, is that I did see that little teaser thing for Deadpool 3 with Wolverine.
Yeah, with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do like Wolverine.
Yep.
So there's a chance now that guy could be coming into the parks.
Well, here's
Here's
the beauty. Here's the beauty of this.
Keep it short, Rudy. We got news to go through. Okay, what is the beauty of it?
It could be, but he won't.
He won't be
He will not be because, well,
licensing.
no. They're fully
Okay.
no problem there. They both have Marvel and Fox. They're both under the umbrella. Has nothing to do with that. I think what it has to do with is the theming of it.
Okay.
Because I don't know if we're ever, and I could be wrong. I don't think we'll ever get Deadpool in the park. Now, what I would love that, and that would be a character that I would go take a picture with.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever will. And the reason is the adult nature of the character.
Mm-hmm.
For everybody
Yeah.
who's not seen a Deadpool movie, please make sure you're of age because they are not for kids.
They're great.
They're amazing. And I love it.
Good. All right, next news item, and actually, again, Udi's gonna have a lot to say about this. I already know. New Obi-Wan Kenobi Legacy lightsaber hilt set is available at Doc Ondor's in Disneyland Resort. Doc Ondor's Den of Antiquities in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland has a new Obi-Wan Kenobi Legacy lightsaber set. It is selling for $592. It comes in a box. Looks like, let me see, 3 hilts inspired by the 3 different versions of Obi-Wan's lightsabers from the Star Wars series. They come in a commemorative box featuring limited edition number and Obi-Wan's first quote about lightsabers. This is a weapon of the Jedi Knight, not as clumsy or as random as a blaster, and an elegant weapon for a more civilized age. There are only 3,000 of these sets available. The exterior of the box is yellow with black weathering. The airbrush on the front reads Kenobi Legacy.
You know what airbrush is?
That is what your name tag was in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It is the Star Wars language.
the Star Wars language. Yeah.
I have a Tumblr with that on there with
yeah.
my name on there. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that?
I don't have any.
I know, but would that something you would be interested in getting?
I don't have any thoughts.
Oh, you have no thoughts?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
No, okay. So,
I cannot see you spending $600
no.
on anything. Maybe a part of a bike,
Yeah,
maybe,
car
but
parts,
yeah, but not on this.
gun. Anyway, no, I would not. And not because I don't find them amazingly cool. It's just going to go collect dust or be in a corner. And but it is very cool.
Yeah.
These look amazing. And if you look at them, and anybody who has not had the opportunity to actually go into Doc Ongar's or hasn't taken the time
Yeah.
and go pick one up, I think one of the things that most people find amazing about anything with the hilts and any legacy or the custom ones that you can make is the tactile feel you get and the weight and the reality of the hilt. I think a lot of people are surprised upon picking one up at how real they feel. And that is one thing that I know. You pick one up, you're going to be like, holy crap, this is legit. And they will be.
Is this something you could put one of the actual saber things into?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it probably will be.
Okay.
I only have the one picture here, but I will almost guarantee you could probably put a blade in there.
Okay.
But again, the one thing that they have done right and they have continued to do correct when it comes to the lightsabers, whether it be Legacy or the custom ones is that they do them right as far as feel and quality of them, and they are amazingly cool and amazingly detailed. Like I've got my custom one that has leather, and I'm air quoting leather. It's not leather. It's plastic basically, but the feel of it is very leather-esque. And you think about that, you're like, but this is a toy, and I'm going to again air quoting toy, but it isn't. It is a thing that is something that can be very, it's legit. And for the reality is that these kind of things can be heirlooms, believe it or not, can be an heirloom passed down.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that.
Yeah. So anyway, so very cool. I mean, to be real, that ticket price is not bad for all three with everything you get.
Well,
that
it's
is not a
about
bit.
$200
Yeah,
each.
no, yeah, it's about $200 each.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit higher than what you would normally pay, I believe, for a Legacy Saver. But when you think about everything you got, and then having the case and everything and being limited edition is not bad. I'm pretty sure these will go for probably I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing these pop up for about $2,000.
Oh yeah, minimum. Yeah.
Coming up. Yep.
Okay, cool. Next news item is Eudora's Chic boutique featuring Tiana's gourmet secrets now open at Disneyland's New Orleans Square. Yeah, so this opened up now. It's cool. It's next to Club 33, and it is what was in the former Le Baton Rouge. All new retail store is a collaboration between Tiana and her talented dressmaker mother, Eudora.
Yeah, probably pretty cool.
The shop features clothing, accessories, cooking supplies, and more. It's probably worth a walkthrough. I don't think I'd buy anything there. Not my thing, but I'm glad it's there. I think it fits the theme well for New Orleans Square.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Oh, perfect. And I think with the impending theme change to
Tiana's Bayou.
adventure, whatever.
Yeah.
I forget what it's going to be called. But anyway, I think it's going to fit in there, and I think this is probably step one in what we're going to be getting down the road.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Okay, next news item, which is kind of interesting. We talked about this today. I think this is our last news item, isn't it? Well, actually, we're going to go to this just real quick. We'll skip ahead and go back to that Magicband. Tarzan's Treehouse could receive the S.E.A overlay at Disneyland, with the hype surrounding Encanto having somewhat cooled since its explosive debut last year. Imagineers may be exploring new ideas for retheming the former Tarzan's Treehouse at Disneyland. One rumor that has made the rounds quite a bit recently is a sea-themed overlay coming to the classic Disneyland attraction. Udi's chomping at the bit, yeah?
Called it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Absolutely we did.
Called it. I went in there, and I'm being so No, I mean, it has... when you cut away the emotional, I mean, I know Jess was like, no, it needs to be Encanto. It makes sense. I get all that. And I think my counter was like, I get that, but Encanto did not hit. Encanto, whatever, for all the fans of Encanto, I don't mean it to be a negative towards you. It didn't hit with what Coco did. It just didn't. It had a lot of people, but it is not Coco level. I don't care what you say.
I just don't think it's earned its place yet.
That is where I was going.
Oh, okay.
No, you're right. Encanto has not earned its place. Coco, when you look at Coco, you look at when it came out, and then you look at how it hit. I mean, there was Coco that came out, and then for everybody who has not seen Book of Life, they were both right in line, right around each other. And Book of Life is also one of my favorites. Like Encanto and Book of Life are two ones that are. I don't think you've ever seen Book of Life.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, Book of Life is another animation film that is now, it is on Disney Plus because it was under the Fox umbrella.
Okay.
And it basically tells, so everybody knows the story of Coco. He wants to be with the family during Dia de la Muerte and then to memory.
Man, I really like that show.
Yeah. So if you go to Book of Life, it is a caricature version of Mexican. It's more wooden, like a wooden puppet. It has that feel to it. The characters all have that look. But it tells the story of Lady Death, and then the guy that run the life, and then the land of the remembered, and then they run the land of the forgotten, and then they make a bet about who would wind up with the girl, and that is basically the story. Book of Life is a great, for a different reason, is great. But that being said, looking at Encanto, Encanto is a good story. I mean, it just wasn't for me. Like I said, I still haven't sit through, but there was enough people who connected with it. Good. But it doesn't hit. And then the fact that they're thinking about doing the Explorer part, that to me is a much broader range. And I think the reason you can make that argument that it is more appropriate is where it is, okay, coming off at Adventureland, where you sit. Secondly, it falls back into the more general open theme, okay?
Yeah.
You're exploring. It fits better.
It totally does.
It
yeah.
fits better to where it is, and it makes more sense to receive a broader audience. Mm-hmm. I think you get more ages coming in and out of that.
Yeah, it's very much more open-ended, I think.
Correct.
Yeah. We're not pigeonholed into Encanto. And there could very well be a place for Encanto at some point in the parks. It just isn't 2022 or 2023.
No. And again, I just don't think Encanto is going to stand the test of time. I think there's plenty of movies that a lot of people have an emotional connection to for whatever reason, but that as a big thing aren't as widely embraced as other movies. So like I said, Coco, I think any day of the week would beat Encanto, and if you ask people which one you like more, I think you're going to get a good 70% of people like Coco. Okay, I'm going to read a little bit further on this, and I totally agree with you on that. The Treehouse's new story would feature it as a hideout and meeting place for members of S.E.A. at Disneyland, which is already referenced nearby at the Jungle Cruise and Tropical Hideaway. References to the Treehouse's past themes of Tarzan and Swiss Family Robinson would likely also be included. Absolutely. Get right in.
S.E.A. was first created for Tokyo Disney Sea in 2001, where its official headquarters still remains at Fortress Explorations. Over time, its lore has expanded to multiple attractions worldwide, including Soaring, Fantastic Flight, and Tower of Terror at Tokyo Disney Sea, Mystic Manor at Hong Kong Disneyland, Jungle Cruise at Walt Disney World, and Disneyland, and more. So this is great. They're connecting a bunch of attractions from all the theme parks, and they're going to just kind of keep this theme going, and I think it's great. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing whatever this comes out. Okay. What other, before we get to Magicband? Oh, Disney files a patent for a glass-free virtual reality attraction. This thing came up. There's a little bit of a chart that kind of shows a 3D attraction without the use of glasses. It's using some trickery in the mirrors to have, with the red and green light, to get the 3D. I don't know what they're going to do with this. And people have sort of speculated that this might be something to do with this e-ticket in Avengers Campus. Maybe it is. But maybe I'll put that online because this is where I got it anyway, so it's there. I don't really have a thought about this patent yet.
No, too early. I mean, I think we saw the patents that were coming out, and a lot of people kind of attribute a couple to the web slingers, and it turned out to be that it wasn't. It was one of them, but the more interesting ones were not used. The ones that were like, ooh, if it is this, that's going to be legit.
And then the swinging arm?
Correct.
Yeah.
And then we didn't get any of that.
Yeah, so that's kind of, what's the term? We were kind of eating crow for that. We were touting, this has got to be it, this has got to be it. No, that was not it. So, yeah.
Like Amanda's like, man, nope.
Nope. So anyways, virtual reality, 3D, we'll see how it goes. All right, we're going to end the news segment with something that's pending, which is this. Magicband Plus coming to Disneyland this fall with Batu, Bounty Hunters, and more. Magicband Plus will officially launch at Disneyland Resort this fall. If this is already launched at Walt Disney World earlier this summer, Magicband Plus is a next-generation wearable that enables you to see and feel park experiences in a new way. Thanks to smart features like color-changing LED lights, haptic vibrations, and gesture recognition, available in a growing assortment of designs and colors. Ching, 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 ching. That's the money sign for you guys. Magicband Plus offers another opportunity to show off your personal style in the parks. It's also rechargeable. Well, I would hope so. With the included charging cable and waterproof. Good. Keeping the fun going and going. While Magicband Plus is paired to, when Magicband Plus is paired to a smartphone device through the Disneyland app, it unlocks personalization options such as selecting unique light colors and adjusting vibrations and motion recognition settings. It will come to life during World of Color in Disneyland and DCA and Fantasmic on in Disneyland Park. You'll also be able to explore Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland Park like never before with Star Wars Batuu Bounty Hunters Interactive Quest. Vibrations and lights from your Magicband will help you guide to find your virtual bounties across Black Spire Outpost. Okay, no more about that. But there's also there's a chart that tells you what this thing does. And it just basically goes over everything I just talked about. Udi, I'm sure you have no thoughts about this.
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay, and that's the news.
Yeah, I mean,
No. Are you likely to buy this?
no.
Really?
It is not meant for me. I don't care. I don't need to buy another thing and put it on my wrist. I'm like, I wear my watch, and occasionally, depending on what I'm wearing, I will wear a bracelet or two, but they're usually for a memento reason.
You also have brass knuckles you carry with you at all times.
Well, we're not supposed to talk about this. Sorry, dude. Come on, man. Anyway, and then
TMI.
Other than that, no. I mean, I don't really need to wear one.
I don't need to wear it. You don't need to wear it. But there are thousands of kids who will eat this up.
Oh no, they will eat it up. And again, You have brought up the question, and you brought it up during live, like why are they not doing things to be more interactive with our smartwatches? I mean,
yes,
I've got a smartwatch on. You've got a smartwatch on.
Do you feel smarter?
I already did without the watch. But,
okay, just wondering.
Then you think about our crew, right? You think about the people that we know, and then we go to the park with. Jess has one. 13 has one.
Wendy has one.
Wendy has one. Christy has one.
Annika has one.
Annika has one. As we start naming down, I'm going to begin to bet that a bunch of people that we know and that you know and that you go to the park with have one.
Yes.
So why wouldn't you develop that aspect of it? And the main drive is going to be money.
Sure.
I mean, that is going to be the main drive. This is where you get that whole thing about customer interactivity and customer experience, where you go, okay, we want to give you the optimal experience, right? Okay, cool. We hear them go like, okay, we're on board. And then they go, but we want to do it our way. And like, but I have this already.
Yeah.
I have my, can we do, no. We need you to do it this way. So one thing, again, it's about money.
Sure.
They want to charge you whatever. And then they'll do it limited. They'll do the same thing they do with everything, a limited edition, or you can only get this, and these are out for a little time, and look at the new color, or look at the new band, or look at... So there are going to be people who are going to be way, 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 way into it, and that is fine. Love it, enjoy it, collect them, do what you want to do.
Sure, and they will.
And they will. And there'll be tons of people who are going to be all over this, and they're going to be all about it. Great for you.
I might wear 2 or 3 at
I'm going to make an earring out of mine.
There you go.
But anyway, they're going to make a big hoop. But at the end of the day, it's about money, and that's fine. And Disney's about money. We've often talked about it. Like, if you think that Disney's going to look at the thing, and especially with who's in charge, they're not going to go like, well, what's our red tape, and what's our bottom line, and are we going to be in the red, or are we going to be black, and blah blah blah, and this will help, blah blah blah, analytics, yada yada yada.
Sure.
And at the end of the day, again, money. So.
Yeah.
We talked about it a long time ago when the bands were first introduced to Walt Disney World. We're like, these are going to be coming eventually.
We knew that.
And we also made the comment, we don't see how it's really going to work and why it's really necessary.
Uh-huh.
And I am of the mind, still thinking that way. We will now see that they're going to get introduced, and we'll see how functional they really are in that park.
Yeah, we're going to see. Because my girls are all on board with this.
Oh, yeah.
And they want to get them, and I think when we go next, they will get one, and I'm going to see how it is. I mean, there is no user interface on this device. It's just, it's going to vibrate and beep and light, and so you still have to program your day
on your watch,
on your phone. So, I mean, I get like, oh, hey, we're going to go Thursday. Let's, our annual passenger ticket, let's sync up to our Magicband now. Great. But then when you get in, hey, we still have to book Fast Pass.
Yep.
So you got to load up. You got to take your phone out. That. Oh, we want to go to Bengal Barbecue at 2 and pick up some skewers.
Break out your phone.
So what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, we'll see how it works. We'll see how it flows. I think it's gonna be somewhat gimmicky.
Yeah.
But kids are gonna love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we talked about it in our live, and even Christy brought up like, oh, I'm going to be there, and I'll maybe try it out, and I'm like, okay,
sure.
And I can actually see her daughter getting one. I could be wrong, but that is the kind of thing is like there are going to be plenty of people who are going to be like I said, all about it, and I don't. Our demographic, and I think our niche of people are going to be like, no.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold judgment until we see it in real time, because I'll tell you, again, I use the phrase eating crow. I was not happy when they announced Max Pass back in the day. I go, we don't need this. We've got Fast Pass. It works great. We just go and get the ticket. But as you know, Max Pass was great.
Yep, and now we're longing for the days of Max Pass.
Yeah, thinking, how will we be working without Max Pass? But I don't know if this is going to be a game changer yet.
No, and again, on its face, I don't see it being that transformational in the park.
No.
There have been a few things, like we talked about it, like you just said, Max Pass. When that came out, we went, blah, 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 but we recognized how that transformed our day in the park.
Yeah.
And what we talked about before Magic Keys and everything got shot down, the pass of the AP that we had before, the Flex Pass.
Yeah.
That transformed for that couple years how a lot of people went to the park for the positive.
Yep.
This could be that, but I really, really don't. In my mind, I don't see it.
Not yet.
Nope, not at all.
I mean, I would love to see the use cases for these, what they've come up with. I mean, at the top of my head, I'm thinking like, okay, let's say 4 of us are at the park, and you were the one doing the fast passes because you're pretty good at that. You go, okay, you guys want to go in space at like 7 o'clock? Sure. Okay, we're going to do it. And then all of a sudden, all 4 of us get a little beep on our Magicband, and so we're all having, so we all get in line. And I actually don't have to do anything because Udi did it for us because we would have our tickets all linked together. And we just walk up to Space Mountain, and I just ding like that, go. And I haven't done anything. Udi's done it all for me. Yeah. That's the only advantage I think I would get.
Yeah, but we did that anyway.
Yeah.
We did that anyway. I mean, when we went to the park, I mean, when I was with Jess, I mean, it was like, okay, you've got them, right? Okay, there you go. I mean, when we went to the park, remember, for opening day of Rise.
Yeah. Yep.
She took full reins, like, okay, Jess, you run everything through your phone, and we'd go up to her fast pass, and she'd be like, ding, bing, 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 and on we all went. Like, they would count how many we got, how many she did, and we're through.
Okay, right.
No problem.
No.
So, again, other than it be kind of gimmicky and for the money and for the people who are going to be wanting to collect it, okay, that is who it is for. And maybe kids, so they can feel a little bit more, like, interactive and a little bit more involved in in your day. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Kids are going to love it. And they're going to glow colors, and that's going to be great for them. So we'll see how it all plays out.
Yep.
We shall watch its career with, what is it, with interest? What is that phrase from Star Wars?
Oh, I'm trying to remember.
I shall watch your career with great interest or something like that.
Yeah, I want to go find it. But yeah, it is when Palpatine
like
is...
yes.
Well, not Palpatine. Yeah, well, Palpatine when he's talking to Anakin.
Anakin, yeah. Okay, well, that is the news for episode 160. Very good segment. Now we're going to go to our feature presentation.
And now for our feature presentation.
Well, hey, LTP listeners, welcome to our feature presentation. As promised, we are joined by one of our very good friends. Used to be a guest. Now he's just kind of a friend. And he's also a wealth of information and very good conversationalist. And we're going to welcome back Sam Carter from Sam Carter. Hey, Sam.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. You can check out his work at samcarterart.com. Also, you can check him out on his podcast, which is Nostalgia's Fast Pass. Did I get that right?
That's right.
Awesome.
Yeah, we just hit 70 episodes.
70 episodes.
On fire.
Okay.
Holy crap.
Oh, you guys are doing great.
Yeah.
You guys are doing great. So today we're going to talk about D23. Now, before you guys go, oh my gosh, every podcaster and YouTuber is talking about D23. I have to say that it's a little, we're delayed a little bit because for me, just me personally, my initial reaction of anything is not my true feeling. I need time to digest it and to marinate a little bit
Yeah,
and think
definitely. You need the dust to settle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But believe me, I was watching Sunday at 10:30 until 12 going, what's going on here?
Oh, I
I
know.
was yelling at the TV.
What's
I was literally yelling at the TV. Person, I was watching it at home too.
I was
Very
texting.
dark.
Yeah, I was texting the LTP.
Oh yeah,
crew.
you should see our text threads back and forth. We're all texting in the middle of this, and we're like, huh?
What's going on?
What
What is going on? So I wanted to just maybe not have a quick reaction because we all maybe had the same thing, and then see how we are. 2 weeks. 2 weeks
Yeah.
later now. Is that what it was? 2 weeks ago?
A couple weeks.
Oh,
Yeah.
seems like a year ago.
I know,
Yeah,
right? So much has happened
It was a
since
month
then.
ago.
It was a month ago. Was
No.
it 2 weeks?
It was September 11th. So
It
Oh
wa-
yeah, we're coming up on it.
Uh,
Holy crap!
almost a month.
Almost.
Oh
a
my
month.
gosh. Okay. Well, it's been a month. All right. So yeah.
We
we-
like to put bad memories behind us. We like to move forward.
Sam.
Oh man.
Okay. So
That's a hint.
Yeah, right?
it's
What
a
I
hint.
think.
Yeah, because we all have our expectations, and they're seldom really met. But initially, I was like, okay, we didn't get anything. Can we talk about what are you thinking about things now, Sam? What did you? Okay, let's talk about what you did like coming out of the.
Yeah, let's go positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did I like? I'm gonna have to think long and hard about this.
Oh, there was something
Okay.
that when I saw it, I go, Sam is gonna dig this. But what is it?
Well, okay, let's be positive here.
Yeah.
There is a e-ticket coming to Avengers Campus.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is good news.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go into a little scratching my head. Okay, we don't know what the ride system is.
Oh, Sam, let me ask you something just real quick on this. And I bet I'm right. When they showed you that concept art, did you immediately go to the ride vehicle?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Well, I went.
same with
I was-
me. Exactly. I don't care about the other characters. I go, what is that ride vehicle?
I know. I think we all do. I think because when you look at the ride vehicle is when you get that sense of what you're going to be doing on that attraction. Without the ride vehicle, we're like, okay, all that is whatever. But until we see that, like I mean, think about the concept art or the ride vehicle we got for Web Slingers. Once we kind of saw what that ride vehicle was going to be, we all knew what we were going to get out of it.
Yes.
Right away, we're like, okay, now we see that. So yeah,
And-
without a ride vehicle, we don't know.
And I knew, and when I first saw that, I swear my first thought was, oh, I bet you Sam he's honing in on that ride vehicle, and he's not happy.
Oh, I dissected the hell out of that.
I knew it. And dude, we haven't even talked, and I knew that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely dissected the heck out of it, only because with Spider-Man Web Slingers.
Yeah, Spider-Man Web Slingers.
So Disney gets the rights to Spider-Man. They announced that there's going to be a Spider-Man attraction. One of the best rides of all time in the theme park world is an existing Spider-Man attraction, right?
Okay.
It's in Islands of Adventure. It's one of the best rides. It still holds up. It's great, right?
I've never
So
been
I
on
think-
that. Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome. If you've been on Transformers, it's the same at Universal.
Nope,
It's the same
I've
ride.
not.
So it's basically picture like Indiana Jones, kind of, I guess, but it's a bunch of screens with some practical sets.
Okay.
But it's a thrill ride. It's fun. It's kind of for the whole family because it's just, you just sit in a chair in this thing and you go around. So I had a feeling when they were developing Web Slingers, they're like, you know what? There's already a Spider-Man attraction that's out there. They're going to compare it anyway, right? They're going to compare this Spider-Man to the Islands of Adventure Spider-Man. So let's just do something completely different to stay away from that so they don't compare it. And that's why we got Web Slingers.
Yeah.
Now, across the way from this Spider-Man ride, that there was some care and thought put into it. And it just seemed like, well, we couldn't get that Wakanda Quinjet attraction working the way we wanted to. Let's just make this the Spider-Man ride system. So does that make sense?
It does.
Seems like
Yes.
it's like, okay, it looks like it's going to be the same ride system as Spider-Man and Transformers. And it's funny to me because I know they didn't want the Spider-Man ride to be so similar, but now it's like, well, the Avengers ride will be very similar. And I just think like if it's a ride system that's cool and it's fun, but this ride has to be equivalent in way almost equivalent to Rise of the Resistance. Like
absolutely.
DCA needs this epic ride that, like a destination ride that people come to California Adventure just to ride this thing. And especially because the Marvel movies are the biggest money makers the company's had in forever.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not, they always say like, oh, well, we got to wait and see if our movies make enough money before we build an attraction based off of it. Well, I think Marvel has more than proved themselves over the past 10 years that these are machines of money.
Mm-hmm.
So spend what it takes to get that kind of Rise of the Resistance level attraction. And I don't think that is the Spider-Man ride system from Islands. But I don't necessarily know that's what it is. And, it could be something else. But from that concept art they showed, sure looks like it to me.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Well, I think
so that's positive, right? Does that count?
Yeah, no, that is. But I think you highlight a very kind of important thing that's going to be here moving forward. No matter what we get from the park moving forward, I think anything that is now post Rise is going to be compared to like, hey, for anybody who's been on that, understanding the level of what is in there. Like for us, no matter what we got, we're gonna, unless it's near that tier, we're all gonna be like, okay, that was fun, but it's gonna be in the back of our mind. There is still that golden, city on the hill, which is Rise, and everything else is gonna pale. So, and I think, I think they'll pale for overall, like, unless they reach that, like integrate, the ride systems, the all the different technology into it. I think it's going to be difficult. A lot of people are going to compare to it. You got to get close, in my opinion. You got to get close, and that is one of the things that Disney and California needs to become like, because we've talked about how California's been on the cusp for a while, becoming like a full-on park. We talk about like how it's been getting better and better and better, but it still doesn't compare to Disneyland. They need.
Well, it never can, right?
Well, no, it never will.
It has almost 70 years.
Right.
Ahead of it.
Yeah, but the thing is like to become a park into of itself that has its own independent feel and has enough of a draw. I think they need, if they can pull something like that off in Avengers Campus, I think that will be that last little hill that they can climb onto. That's my opinion, and that's what's been lacking.
Well, to be honest, that's kind of why I really think that Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway needed to go at DCA's Hollywood. Like, Disneyland does not need that attraction. DCA needs that attraction.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. You're 100% right on that.
Yeah.
And there's so many cool ways to do it in DCA. Like, it fits the theme perfectly.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
and
I don't know.
The funny part is that's where you can bring up Toontown, and I see your point. I agree with you completely. It would have fit a lot better over there.
I never even thought about that until you brought that up.
Yeah, no, it fits perfectly.
It absolutely does.
Yeah, but the thing is, the reason why is because I think they recognize that Toontown had completely lost its relevance. And
that's why I thought Toontown was going to become Arendelle. I thought that was going to be part of a Fantasyland expansion. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
And that, to me, still would have made sense. I think, doing the Monday morning, Imagineering quarterbacking, we could you could easily flip that around and been like, okay, Toontown goes away and becomes.
I did draw a map about that.
Yes, you
Speaking
did.
of Monday morning, armchair. Mm-hmm. But if I could really make you upset about Runaway Railway not going into DCA's Hollywood, I would have had the entrance to this attraction be the old Walt Disney Hyperion Studios. They could have recreated that where Monsters Inc. is. And that could have been the...
Oh, absolutely, dude.
Like Buena Vista Street, Hollywood, and then here is this... This is this... Where is there a better place to recreate the original studios?
Yep.
And
why...
They could have used some of that stage 9 or stage 17 area or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I would have, because, that's probably the worst part of DCA. Stage 17.
Stage 17, yeah.
Mickey's PhilharMagic, Monsters Inc.
Yes.
Stage 12. That whole area needs a blowtorch, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think Monsters Inc. is a bad ride, but you have a Pixar land that's got to go somewhere or lose it. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
But D23.
Back to D23.
Okay, so that's a good. So far, we have Avengers Campus getting an e-ticket. That's good. No
It's a big
time,
deal.
no time frame given, but okay.
Yeah, very vague.
Very
But it's
vague.
happening, which is good. We haven't heard anything about that until then. Let's talk about Splash Mountain.
Oh,
Let's just
okay.
get it out of the way.
Oh, okay. I thought we were sticking with
We
DC.
saw a model.
Because there was something else that came into
Yeah.
DC
Oh, okay.
that I thought
Oh, we'll start with these.
when
Let's go. Okay, let's stay in Avengers Campus then. So, I like the Hulk costume. I think it's cool.
Okay.
I think
Did
it's a little Frankenstein-like, right? But like, it's cool. I'm glad the Hulk is there. But I'll be honest, I did scream at my TV when I'm like, "Why is he in the time travel suit?"
Oh,
I have
I
my
just
theory.
didn't understand that.
I have my
I'm like,
theory.
we've waited for a Hulk this whole time, and
Yeah.
now if you don't know, you're not going to know that's the Hulk.
Yeah.
But there's reasons for it, right? And the helmet, and they didn't want it to feel like it's a fuzzy. But I think it'd have been fine if he was just, if they needed to cover his arms for like articulation and joints and stuff. And
Yep.
let's be honest, they're not moving that much, just
No.
fingers from what I saw.
Yep.
I think it could have been Professor Hulk and just had his glasses on and just, he doesn't have to talk. You know what I mean? Just, it's a costume character. No one's thinking this is real.
Yep.
I think it would have been fine to do that.
Well, my
But we have
working
Hulk.
my working theory is that it's going to be the same technology for Betamax. So you have that Betamax is close to the same size, and then being able to
And
hide.
Wreck-It Ralph and
Yeah, I mean,
Thanos.
But I think
Thanos.
the
Turning
reason,
head, yeah.
but the reason why they put him in that suit is because I think you're right. I think the articulation. I think they probably hadn't flushed that out completely to where they're happy, so you hide it. And the same thing I think with the face. That's why they put him in the helmet.
The talking. They didn't
yeah.
want him to look like a costume head.
Yes.
Exactly. So
And,
that
you know, and we didn't see it. Maybe they looked at it. Maybe they walked him through there and they're like, nah, this just doesn't, we're trying to be so real here. And so, because we don't know what they know.
Yeah.
And I do respect what they're putting together. That team is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Avengers Campus and their costumes has been spot on this whole time.
they're amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. So I don't fault them for that at all because it came out
But
and
it was
then,
a surprise.
yeah.
It was like, what? Why is he wearing that?
Yeah, and that's what I said. He came out, and I kind of went like, they said Hulk. I'm like, oh, cool. And then he came out, and I went, wait, what?
Purple shorts.
Yeah, like I want to see green, purple short. Like I would have taken Professor. I mean, not my. He's
I
not
want to
my.
see Professor with his sweater and his glasses. I
That
thought
would have been funny.
hilarious.
I think that would have been great.
Because if he was Purple Shorts Hulk, he should be trashing the place, right? And
Yeah.
he's not. He's chill and he could talk to kids and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Maybe they could have done a slight articulation in his head, the mouth, so his jaw moves a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
It makes you
I don't know,
think,
but we
right?
got a Hulk.
Yeah.
yeah. So here's the thing with the Incredible Hulk being added, and then obviously Mandalorian. But my first thought with Mandalorian was, 2 years ago, where was this guy? Right?
Oh, don't
Staying
yeah.
in- It felt like this whole D23 was a lot of meet and greets.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
in years past, this Parks and Resorts panel has been where they've announced theme parks. They announced Shanghai Disneyland. They announced Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. They announced Avengers Campus. They announced groundbreaking things.
Yep.
So to have that expectation of what's been happening in the past, and then now you're leaning on character meet and greets, there's a drop off there.
There
yeah,
is.
Yeah, and I think, without we all, well, like I said, in our text conversation, we had a lot of like not the most positive vibe
No.
going, and
No.
the feeling I got was a lot of it is at a point where they probably have a lot of ideas floating like they always do, and they don't have anything fully fleshed out where they're happy enough to
Well, I
present.
think they let a lot of the team go because of the pandemic.
Yep.
Oh,
They-
I didn't think about
they
that.
let
I
a
hadn't
lot of
done-
people.
That makes sense. And so what do you really have? What do you really have to bring up? I mean, you think about like all the big things that came-
Gambling. Disney company get into gambling.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But yeah, you think about all the big things were all pre-pandemic. You think about all those huge announcements, all that was all pre-pandemic. And so now I think what we got was definitely a post-pandemic kind of thing going on. And then we talked about it before. We've talked about it on the show the last few times. We talked about your park visits and everything and how we're coming across, supply chain. And so what do you do when you have to have a presentation, when whatever product you're trying to put forward isn't ready to go? That's what I felt like. They have all, like when they did basically that big sky kind of, like, what if we did this? And what it was like, a lot of people said,
what if?
Yeah, the what if session. And I'm like, okay, so I got it. I'm like, there's nothing solid there. But then as I now took a time to kind of think about it, my mind tells me this is them going, you know what, guys, we're trying. We don't have anything solid because we don't have anything at that point where we can be like, this is what we're going to do.
I have trouble with that what if segment at the end.
We're gonna get to that, but let's stick on DCA real quick. So we got Avengers e-ticket, we've got Incredible Hulk, but the thing that kind of got me interested, especially for you, is this
San Tokyo.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know why that's so popular from everyone? It's because it's so out of left field.
Absolutely.
I loved it.
What are you talking about? But then, like, I think most people heard about it and they're like, what? That came out of nowhere.
Yes.
But then their next thought is, that's perfect.
Yeah. It totally
right?
is.
Like, because I've talked a lot on the show about, what the theme is for DCA. People crap on it and they say, oh, well, the California's not there anymore.
Right.
The California is the backdrop, right? Like, that's all you got to say. California is the backdrop, and all these Disney stories, Marvel stories, Pixar stories take place with California as a backdrop. Well, this is the perfect same scenario for that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's based in a city in California,
Yep.
which the Pacific Wharf is based on.
Yep.
I don't necessarily love the movie Big Hero 6. Every time I try to watch it, I've fallen asleep.
Oh.
But I like the look of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the characters. I love Baymax. I think it's cool.
Uh-huh.
And I think of just even working on a project like that, like designing all the signage that would be applied to it, because obviously it's going to be a massive change. This is a signage change, souvenirs and stuff. But I know there's not room for this, but I did kind of draw it up just for fun. I was drawing there's a jetpack spinner ride at Shanghai Disneyland where it looks kind of like you're riding a jetpack. And it's just Dumbo, right? It's a rocket jets. And it spins around. But I'm like, if there was a Big Hero 6 version of that, would that fit in the middle of the seating area? So then now you have all these sculptures of the Big Hero 6 characters in their battle mode and this massive big, the red costumes Baymax up on top. Can you fit a ride in there? Then it's not just a food court, right? You have at least and it's not even to have a Dumbo ride. I know people would roll their eyes like, why does DCA need another spinner? It's called kinetic energy. It's movement.
Yes.
It's something happening, right? Like I just don't know if it'll fit. It'd kind of be a setup like the magic carpets of Agrabah at Magic Kingdom's Adventureland.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be something like that is what I'm picturing, but I don't think it'll fit. I don't think they're going to do it, but I'm like, I like the idea of this coming into DCA. It was just a breath of fresh air that was just why we watch these announcements. They're like, wow, didn't see that coming, right?
We didn't see it coming. And then everything with DCA and pretty much for Disneyland, we have no dates on anything. Except actually the Hulk shows up. We know that when he's
we knew that.
And then Mandalorian.
Yeah.
He's coming in November. That's soon.
Okay. Yeah.
No, but I think you said it exactly. We all kind of went what, and then we did that in our group then, and then we all kind of went like almost immediately like that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like. I'm in. Like I fully bought into that one. I'm like, that is gonna be awesome. And in my mind's eye, looking at what little concept they did present, I'm like, dude, that's gonna look cool. If they get close to that,
22. It's a throwback to DCA 1.0 with the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I was always joking with like, man, if DCA still had that bridge, they'd turn it into the San Francisco Bridge just to promote the movie, right? Like that's a given. And I wonder if that kind of led to this,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and like I think it has for me it had that touch of like futuristic, but then going back to the roots to like kind of expand that gap. And I'm thinking that's kind of ingenious right there. Whoever came up with that idea is like give them like a little gold, a little brownie point, a little gold star because it works on a lot of different layers, not only aesthetically.
It's smart.
Yeah, it's very intelligent.
Smart overlay.
Yeah. So for me, that's what I was like, dude. That's perfect for that. Perfect for that. It doesn't. I don't think it would really translate that well into any other park, But there it fits like
Oh,
it
yeah.
plugs in. Yeah.
It's perfect for DCA, but I do have one concern about it. They showed how big that bridge is going to be on top of the existing bridge.
Yeah.
I've heard people call it Earthquake Bridge. I don't know why it's called that. I don't know if it's when you bounce on it. I don't know. But that bridge that goes from the wharf to kind of like pointing towards Little Mermaid, that's where they have these huge towers there.
Yeah.
And on my last few trips to DCA, one of my favorite views of going to California Adventure is when you're walking up the performance corridor and you can see at sunset time the Paradise Pier or the Pixar Pier, kind of like Ferris wheel and the coaster. You're like, what is going on over there, right? It's
Yes.
like, it's a buildup, and I would compare it to that buildup at Tower of Terror at Walt Disney World, right? You're walking down Sunset Boulevard and there's this huge thing down there. What is that? DCA has something, and that's what I compare it to. If you were to put that bridge there in front of that, it might kind of make it look a little too messy. But
I see what you're
I'll
saying.
deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be tall. It's not a little thing,
No.
right? Even if it's the same size. What if they actually saved the Golden Gate Bridge? It's been like, 10 years ago. I don't think they have it. But
that would be funny.
I think it might be a similar size, and it's just going to be weird to see in front of that. I hope it doesn't make that less cool, that build up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, we all know that when they were designing the park, the skyline and the eye lines were very, very important for everything. So yeah, you have a great point, because having Cretacoaster and everything in the back of the park, it has that like draw, like keep on coming, because there's this thing back here. So yeah, I mean that is
especially with World of Color. You ever walk up that performance corridor when World of Color is going on?
one time.
Really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think you have a very valid concern, depending on how they're going to do it. You know, I hope this is where you come into that thing where you hope that attention to detail is still going to remain, and I always have faith that they will. You know, that they won't sacrifice one for the other, because it is you know, they have to take it isn't like an individual land that is completely independent. They have to take into account that it is you know, kind of an amorphous thing, like where everything is working in unison with each other, and they have to coexist. So, yeah, we'll see though. I'm kind of like, I want more info now. Like, okay, you gave me the tease. Like, let's
I'm
start
excited.
getting more.
Yeah, everything.
Well, it makes me like going to the land again and like looking at all the details. Like, wow, this is really going to change. I mean, is it? It might not change that much, but like, I like looking at all the detail there, because like, oh, this will change.
Yeah.
But I like the wharf. They got food there, and I love and someone was saying, oh, they're going to get rid of the boating bakery, and I'm like, I think they eat bread at San Francisco.
They're better.
I mean? Like,
yes.
I think it's fine.
I think if they do anything, they'll redo the graphics, you know, the aesthetics of the exterior of the buildings. But why would you get rid of anything that's interior?
Well, they'll probably get rid of that Lucky Dragon, right?
No, why would they?
Well, I think they might make it more Japanese.
Yeah, Japanese.
It's kind of Chinese, right?
Yeah.
But like, I think something's going, because the meet and greet is going in one of those buildings. Maybe it's, you know, Ghirardelli, or it's
it better not
the
be
Mexican
Ghirardelli.
restaurant, maybe.
Man, it better not
The
be
Mexican
Ghirardelli.
restaurant's really popular, so if that's gone, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know where they would put that.
The meet and greet.
It means a sushi restaurant, right? It's got to mean sushi.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh. Sushi at a
I think
Disney park?
Rita's Margaritas might be gone.
That one might be gone.
But how big is that? That's just a cart, isn't it?
No, it's
It's a building. It's a structure. It's like a
What am I
round.
it's not big. No. It's
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of the Carl Strauss cart thing. Out
no.
yeah, yeah.
That's
there. Okay, that's when you said the Rita. That's what was in my mind. I'm sorry. I told.
Rita's Margaritas is like very 1.0 for DCA. Like,
Yeah,
it's one of those things that survived. It's funny to see. Like, you could probably count on one hand the things that have not been touched since the park opened, like award wieners or off the page or.
yeah.
Dude, I gotta admit, I do miss the Burbank Freeze.
Oh man, those puns! It's crazy.
Well, yeah, I know, right?
You know what's crazy about that?
What?
I hope I don't get this wrong, but there's a guy on K-Rock, a radio station down here that I would
remember
listen to a lot.
106.7.
And there's a guy named Richard Cheese on it. That would do like lounge type.
Yes.
He was hired as a writer to come up with those puns.
Was he really?
Yeah, it is super weird. Anyway, fun fact for anyone.
Yeah, funny stuff. K-Rock. Okay, so we liked a lot of good stuff out of DCA.
Yeah.
Was there anything you liked about Downtown Disney announcements?
Well, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Porto's is great. I love it, but
Never
there's one
been.
right by not.
Okay.
Oh, there's one on Beach Boulevard, so like 10 minutes away.
Okay.
So it's not like it's something that we can't get already right now, but fine. It's in Downtown Disney. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. See, that went totally over my head because I have no idea what that is.
Well, it got the loudest applause.
Okay.
Which tells you something, right?
Dude, I thought.
But,
I thought when he said, "Oh, it's gonna be a SoCal favorite," I thought he was just say like In and Out. I would have lost my mind.
I thought for sure In and Out. Yeah, they
Yeah.
need a burger joint.
Oh
They
my
do.
God, I
They
lost my
really
mind.
do. They
I would have
really
lost
do.
my mind. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So talking about Downtown Disney,
Yeah.
the first thing that came to mind is the area where the AMC used to be.
Yes.
Right. They leveled it.
Yes.
It's dirt right now. You have like an empty ESPN zone. You have a abandoned rainforest cafe that's been turned into a Star Wars store.
Ugh.
That was basically just to fulfill a need when the parks were closed.
Yeah.
Right. That's when it opened up. Like
Yep.
we got to sell this merch. We just opened Galaxy's Edge. We got to sell this stuff. So I don't. With that whole area, I was hoping they would announce like, okay, we're leveling the ESPN zone. We're leveling rainforest. We're doing something here. This construction area, I know the Disneyland Forward plan, which is what I was hoping
Mm-hmm.
to hear anything about.
Yeah.
If you look at a ground plan for that, not like the concept art that kind of shows that, this might be Wakanda or this might
Sure.
be Zootopia.
Yeah. Yep.
But if you look at it's the expansions of Disneyland and DCA that come out on the west side and they meet in the middle. That is like the entrance to a Disneyland Forward expansion, right where the AMC is.
Mm-hmm.
And the buildings that they're building you could see them. It lines up with the ground plan that they showed. So it's almost like they're planning an expansion there because what they're building right now is part of that.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to hear a little bit more like, yeah, someday this will be an entrance to an expansion. We're not giving any more info.
Yeah.
But this is what we're watching for. Like we planned this placement of these buildings where the AMC used to be because someday in the future there will be expanded park here is what we're hoping for. Like that's the kind of stuff I wanted to hear
Yeah.
about.
Well, we were Mark sent me a link to another podcast, and there were and I hopped on and listened to it. Like, this is an interesting conversation. They brought up that that Disney Fort, and everything, and they actually were pretty well informed on the governmental side, like the red tape side of the whole situation. And after listening to them, I think what you're saying is them prepping. I think you're spot on. I think they're waiting for a little bit more favorable people to roll into the government side of it. There's been people that have been stopping them from doing these projects, and I think those people are going away. And I think from here forward, that's why I keep on saying after now, here a month, I'm getting that feeling like we have all these things and we're setting up the domino run, but we can't quite tip that first domino to get everything rolling. We're just going to set them all up. And here you can kind of look at it, but you can't really see the picture until we tip that domino. And so with that, I think you're right. I think they're building that up and they're prepping like, okay, if we get X, Y, and Z lined out, here we go. And we'll have, because this is where Bob Chapek is the guy, like I always say, the devil we need right now, because he's going to be trying to be frugal, but also be forward thinking, because he needs to get the company being solvent and in the black and all these things. And these are all moves, I think, that lead towards that. That's what I'm saying.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know what I want to see in Downtown Disney?
What's that?
You know that, I don't know if you've seen in Florida, they have a hot air balloon that goes up and down.
Oh.
It's tethered. It's not free floating,
No.
but like it rides up like, I don't know, 500 feet or so. There is one in the Great Park down here in Irvine, about like, maybe 20 minutes away from Disneyland. But I think some kind of hot air balloon going up and down would be really, really cool in Downtown Disney.
That someone could ride, or is it just a prop?
Yeah. It's like it has like a circular type of like gated in like viewing area. and it
Oh,
rises
cool.
up.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it might.
that
I
would
don't know.
be
Maybe
fun.
it's not a good idea because there's backstage right behind Indiana Jones right there. But like, think of the view right over Disneyland. It'd be really cool.
Oh yeah.
It should be incredible. See, I thought you were going to say Gideon's or something. I was like, yeah, we definitely.
Well, that too.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I've seen videos of that place and I want it so bad. It's the cookie place.
Oh, speaking of, if we have a wish list, if they decide not to level the Rainforest Cafe, I think that'd be a really good Jacques Lindsay's. There's a hangar bar.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
dude, yes.
I mean, it's a temple. Make it an Indiana Jones themed
Yep.
restaurant. Come on.
Well,
yeah.
you're right, dude. It should
Yeah.
totally be in
Oh yeah. No, that is a great idea.
They could serve chilled monkey
And
brains.
you have
Yeah.
Indiana Jones Part 5 coming out.
Yeah.
So, like, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be
Anyway,
a great idea.
here's 3 ideas.
Okay,
Yep.
hey, but we're gonna leave with Downtown Disney real quick. But hey, you haven't heard anything about them taking out Tortilla Joe's, have you?
I'm glad you mentioned that. No, I have
okay.
not. But
Okay.
the fact that there was talk about a Mexican restaurant, I heard, like, just social media chatter, like, it might be going. Like,
Yeah.
But like for a new restaurant, I don't know if that means they're going to level it and build a new building or what, but I don't know.
I mean,
It's
I do like that place a
the
lot.
artwork I saw for it that they released, it looked like it was kind of where like the upstairs of Catal. Like it looked like that area.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
You know, there's nothing wrong with having 2 Mexican places there.
I mean, I really
Yeah.
like tortillas.
Kind of like fancy Mexican food.
Yeah.
I love Mexican.
Yeah,
food,
me
but I'm
too.
sure it's going to be too expensive for me to eat there.
Oh yeah, I love it too. Absolutely, I'd go there most days if I.
Oh,
had
I know. I
chance.
mean, Rancho del Zocalo is my favorite. So you don't
it
think
is.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, what else did they talk about that got you excited regarding, let's say, Disneyland? Anything?
Okay. Well, we saw a model for Splash Mountain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which looked a little different, right, Sam?
Looked a lot different,
Yes.
right?
Yes, it
I
did.
was-
Yeah.
I was confused because they showed concept art of like Mama Odie's boat in a tree that was at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously it's different, right? And it was just kind of weird to remove the tree. And I'm like, I don't know why it was necessary to remove the tree. People kind of give, they give it, obviously there's a lot of thoughts about Splash Mountain, right?
Sure.
But the tree, it was very interesting, and it kind of made it have like a dynamic silhouette where it was just kind of aesthetically pleasing to look at. Like, okay,
Yeah.
here's this cool Splash Mountain. To remove the tree, I don't know if there's reason for that. Like, why? Why are we removing this? It just looks plain now. It's not dynamic anymore. It's just like a little.
Do you
I don't
think
know.
maybe
It's so weird.
maybe like structurally they couldn't have had it up there? Or
It has to be, right? Like, I'm sure, because it wasn't designed to have this huge thing up there. And
no.
I found, like, of course, as I do, I kind of drew, like, well, how would I have done it? Because obviously, there's not really mountains in Louisiana, right? Like, sure, you could have, like, some kind of hilly area, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not all flat, I don't think. Because I was actually Google searching, like, well, are there hills? What? And it's because we call it Splash Mountain. It's not a mountain, right? That's why I think they called it in the past Chickapin Hill, which is from Song of the South.
Yeah.
But I was just surprised that A, it's not the boat in the tree, but then B, it's nothing. It's just a flat little nub. It kind of reminded me of like just a green version of what Knott's Berry Farm has. It's just like this nub.
No.
And all the mountains at Disneyland, the whole mountain range, there's a really cool silhouette for each of them.
Yes.
And this wouldn't have that, right? It's just
Right.
kind of like, and they were really talking about that water tower a lot too, and just I just didn't.
That was all that was new too, huh? The water tower.
Yeah, I don't think the water tower was added when the other thing was taken away, and it's not super awesome to me.
No.
My biggest complaint about Splash is that it's a sequel to the movie. I don't think it. They really talk about book report rides.
Yes.
And they say it in a bad way. Like they're like, oh, well, we're not just gonna have a book report ride of Princess and the Frog. And I'm like, why not? Like, you're not seeing people running the Peter Pan and they get there and they're like, wait a second, this is just a retelling of the story. Like,
Yeah.
of course it is.
Yeah.
Like, why is it any different? Why are they pretending that it can't be just a retelling? And and then the fact that Dr. Facilier is not even in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, that bothers me the most because I think that's one of the coolest villains ever, and he has great music, and he's being shunned from this ride, and they haven't really said why, and I don't know the whole reason why, but he's not in it. They were definitely touting all the voice actors that were in it, and he's not mentioned.
Oh, right.
And then they keep talking about this plot about, oh, Chiana owns this restaurant. And
Yeah, the plot's kind of
you're
weak,
going to
dude.
go get ingredients for her restaurant. I'm like, really? That's better than a retelling of the ride? Why?
You know,
I don't understand that.
and the thing is I remember when they first announced it, and I'm like, I'd be fine, and I was like hoping that they would tell a new story, but then they released that, and then I kind of went like, well, that doesn't sound as cool as the story. I was right there with you. Like visually, I think it's going to be very, very cool. I think I'm looking forward.
I have faith it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just super disappointed. One of my favorite characters will not be in it, and that's kind of why I was excited with it to begin with. I'm like, you kind of even know the part where he would be like, oh, when the logs go to the track and you're in,
Yes.
the laughing place. I'm like, that's friends on the other side. That's it, right?
Yeah.
But no, it's not. It's you're going to the sugar mines and you're going shopping. It's like,
Yeah,
Going shopping.
and that is when they released the story, I kind of went like, huh.
I got my energy for it got deflated.
Yeah.
I'm still all for it. I love it. I'm not that hung up on saying goodbye to Song of the South or Splash Mountain. Like, this place is always evolving. It's fine.
Yeah.
But and I really love Princess and the Frog, right? I think I love it.
It's a really good
It's
one,
of my
yeah.
favorites. And I want to see Critter Country turn into like the back bayou of New Orleans.
I think it'd be great.
Yeah, it's just the hard part though is like, how does Winnie the Pooh fit into the bayou?
It doesn't.
Kind of.
No.
I would be. I know they're not going to do it because Winnie the Pooh sells too much merchandise, but I would actually just remove Winnie the Pooh, and my idea would be, okay, Animal Kingdom in Florida has a Festival of the Lion King show, right? Where it's like a theater in the round, and they do like songs and performances for the whole movie, for the songs from the movie. I would do Festival of Princess and the Frog, and it's, okay, fine, if the ride has to be a sequel, then we're going to do a live show 5 times a day right there, which is basically like, all the songs from Princess and the Frog, and you could do something really cool there. Because eventually, this pathway is going to be very busy as it goes across the street.
Yes.
For Disneyland Forward.
Yes,
Right?
eventually
So-
it will be. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. Just
Yep.
I wish Dr. Facilier was in it.
Okay.
And I'm just confused. Like, it's like seeing the Hulk come out in like the future, the space time travel suit. You're like, okay, that's how I felt when I saw the model. I'm like, okay, well, that's different. That's not what I was expecting. But then, to be honest, by the end of the weekend, I'm like, okay, I got used to it.
Yeah. Same with me. It kind of marinated a little bit for me as
I
well.
have bigger beefs.
Okay, well, let's get to the beefs then, because there really wasn't much out of Disneyland that got me excited, except for that.
Well, Magic Happens is coming back. That's great. That only ran for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, that's right. I meant the parade. Sure. Okay.
And then what else is coming back? What other shows? Isn't there another?
There's some fireworks stuff.
Yeah.
The what?
Brand new fireworks show is coming
Yeah.
out. So that's for Walt Disney Company's 100th.
Yes.
Yeah.
They showed a picture of the castle for the fireworks, but no one noticed that there's like this big wishing star on the roof of the center building of the castle, right?
I didn't
But
notice that.
It's in this. It's because the castle's kind of silhouette, like in the artwork they showed, and I'm like, well, there's the wishing star, right? It's kind of like the icon for the 100th celebration.
Okay.
It's like this John Hench wishing star type thing that's going to be attached to the roof. Well, just this week, news that dropped this week is they're talking about some more details about the 100th, and they showed a picture in the daytime now with this star. It's like a chrome looking, I don't know, like a star that's on the center of the roof, It's pretty big. Like, I guess in reality, it might be like, I don't know, 8 feet tall or so, but it's like a really pretty star.
Yeah.
That's mounted on top, like one of where the flags would be. So I thought that's kind of neat. And then they showed some fountains going in the moat, which I like.
Yeah.
Which why didn't they talk about this at D23? Weird.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You needed something. That would have been good to throw us a bone.
And we saw the new popcorn bucket, right?
I love that. Not bad. Nothing wrong there.
I know. I like that too.
Yeah.
What else was there? Was there?
That was. I mean.
for Disneyland?
Oh, that was announced. They talked about Toontown, right? A little bit, or no?
Okay, yeah. So they showed a little bit more of the queue for Runaway Railway.
Yeah. And
Yes.
But we did not get an opening date. We just got the opening date this week as well. So
Yeah.
the
Does
opening-
that
January
surprise you?
27th.
Does that surprise you?
Yeah, but why didn't they announce that a month ago? It's funny that they didn't announce it then, but I'll take it. I think
Sure.
it's great that it's open so quickly.
Yeah, you see, that's why I keep on saying, like, I just feel like by the time D23 came around, they had nothing solid. They had a bunch of things that were like, we're almost there, but we can't announce anything.
Yeah.
And
Well,
now we're
here's
going to
the
get a
thing.
trickle of it.
Yeah. Well, this is like the tease that kind of irked me. They opened up talking about Happily Ever After, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I love it. I love that show's coming back. It's a fireworks show in Florida. Very, very cool, and the
Yes.
fans love it.
Yeah.
It should come back. Enchantment was okay, the 50th fireworks show, but Happily Ever After is a better show. Well, Josh Tomorrow, who I really do love, I think he's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He came out and he was quoting lyrics from that song, and it was about the future and tomorrow.
Oh yes, yes.
And then he was like, "But we're gonna talk more about that at the end." And I'm like, "Oh, that's it,
Yep.
People Mover, baby."
Yep.
Like, because there is some real hype that the People Mover might be coming back, and it sounded like he was referring to something about Tomorrowland.
Yes.
And I'm like, honestly, they don't have to level it and start over. You could work with what's there. Just do something with, People Mover, and then where the America Sings building is, and I think you would win over everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's things you could do with, like, you don't have to knock it all down, but
Right.
it does need help. And it made it sound like we're going to come back to this later, and I thought that was like a big announcement at the end, and there's nothing.
Whole lot of
And I
nothingness.
think that was the most deflating part of the whole thing, is that really you're not even going to mention Tomorrowland?
Right. Well, that I totally agree with you. And then he said something else about, hey, we have to make some decisions, and not everyone's going to be happy about it, but we want to, share them with you. I'm thinking, okay, well, he's going to talk about Tomorrowland. Something's going to happen here, right? We're going to lose something?
Yeah.
Oh, no. It's all this what if nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing. Okay. I've been waiting for a Tomorrowland announcement, I think, at every single D23 that they've ever had.
Preach.
I'm like, is this the one?
You're right.
Is this
Yeah.
the one they're going to say we're going to fix Tomorrowland? They have an abandoned attraction in the middle of the land.
Yep.
It's been there for 2 decades.
Yep.
Yes.
It's just insane. And I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it.
So you're disappointed that they didn't talk about Tomorrowland. They didn't talk about People Mover. Okay. And then the other thing that I was kind of upset about is what's going on with the Treehouse. We can clearly see
Nothing.
that. Yeah.
How do you not mention that?
Yeah.
Right?
I
At
don't
least
get it. I
give
don't
us
get it.
something.
The only thing that's been said about that is that from an OC Register article said that someone from Disney said Tarzan is going away.
Yeah.
Okay, why? First of all, why
Yeah.
is Tarzan going away? I still love that movie. I think it's fine for Adventureland. But okay, so you have something better? What's going in there then? And then it's been under these tarps for years now, and you're not even going to mention it. And this is what I mentioned earlier. Like, my beef with the what if stuff is they're talking all this blue sky stuff. Well, you obviously have construction projects in progress.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Why not talk about it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
don't get it. Like, you could talk about this blue sky stuff, but you can't talk about stuff that's actually happening. I don't get that.
No, and you're completely right. I think that was one of the biggest things that we were all frustrated with. You know, sadly, we've gotten very, very, very accustomed to not getting anything on Tomorrowland. But for whatever reason, maybe it's our own fault, maybe it's my own fault, but I had this kind of sense like
I take
this
full
might be the year.
responsibility.
Yeah, this
Yes.
is going to be
I'm mad at
this is going to
myself.
be the year. This is going to be the year we're going to get People Mover because people are starting to buzz around about it, and I'm like, and when we got exactly Jack's, well, no, let me correct that. We got a cool Disney vacation thing about like who cares?
Oh, the DVC lounge?
That DVC
That I'll
lounge, like
never see.
Yeah, who cares?
Well, here's the thing. There was enough evidence
Yeah.
to not think that you're crazy for thinking that People Mover might be coming back, because people have been spotted on the track. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
people in, suit and some ties are up there, but people have been spotted in places that haven't been spotted in a long time. The biggest thing was the section of People Mover track that comes out of the America Sings show building used to have this tree that overgrew it, right?
Yes.
The track was completely going inside a tree. Well, they trimmed back that tree to allow something to pass on the track.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That is kind of telling that, okay, something combined with the people, combined with the, rumors. Dave at Fresh Baked, who I do enjoy his show,
Mm-hmm.
he was saying how I think it was him. They were saying how it might connect right there, like it might come out and then kind of connect to the track where the monorail is, and then you would lose all the People Mover going out. That's back over Autopia. Like, would you be okay if People Mover came back, but it's not as long? Say it's only 12 minutes instead of 16 minutes. Yeah, it's fine. Just get it back, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need stuff moving in Tomorrowland. Like, even the Observatron right now, why can't that spin?
It needs to spin.
Can't it spin?
Yeah.
No, like, I was told that the rocket jets, we all know that it's the same ride system as the old rockets.
Yeah.
But they could convert it back to being the rockets if they wanted to.
They just
right?
don't-
Like,
they,
it's
they just
not-
won't. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I've grown accustomed to the Astro Orbiter. We've talked about the Astro Orbiter.
Yes.
I like it, right?
Yeah.
But like, I've grown accustomed with it up to the front. I think it's kinetic energy. It's moving. It draws you into the land. But once you're in the land, well, what is there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's Pizza
I don't
Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Pizza Planet.
Just real quick on the People Mover. If
Yes.
they were to relaunch that, would you want, Sam Carter, would you want original People Mover vehicles or an updated version?
Well, good question.
Thank you.
The actual vehicles, they've
Yeah.
all been sold, right? Like, they're not going to get the same kind.
Well, they
Right.
but they must have the blueprint on how to make that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be cool to have it, like, be reminiscent of it.
Okay.
I have to compare it to Florida's, because Florida does not have the roof of the vehicle itself. It's an open air vehicle.
Oh, they
but
don't? Okay.
Their entire track has a roof to it. It's really weird, right?
Yeah, okay.
So it's like your vehicle doesn't have a roof. Ours had a roof because there's no roof to the track.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of confusing the way I said it, but
No, I totally understand
Yep.
what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I think there might be a way to improve upon it. Maybe it's something that is just constant, not like different vehicles. What if it's just like a total Omnimover kind of seating area? And if maybe it's something they have to tie it to some kind of IP, like make it Wall-E, make it to all those people on the Axiom.
Wall-E would be good.
Yeah, it'd be perfect, right? And have some show scene. Like, if that's what it takes, fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I don't know why they didn't. I was the most bummed out about that.
Yeah, I agree. I think we all kind of went, what the man?
But I was mad at myself. I wasn't even mad at them. I was mad at myself.
Yeah. Well,
You got duped again. So, but you know what? I think between now and 2024, which is the next D23 event, I bet you we'll have some information about Tomorrowland.
well,
People Mover.
I'm not going to fall for it again. I'm never
I'm starting
going
the
to
rumor
get my
now.
hopes up
I'm starting it
for
now, man.
anything. Yeah, I'm not going to get my hopes up for anything at these presentations. I'm
Yeah.
like, whatever they tell me, cool. but I'm not gonna get stoked. I was pretty bummed out.
You're gonna be like, I'll believe it when I see it, you know.
Yep.
No, but I fully am sticking with my idea and thought that we're gonna be getting things now, but they're gonna be coming to trickle, because I don't know. I just feel like it makes sense for them to keep people.
Well, they've tried the people back.
Yeah, they got to get people. They got to get people back, and they got to drip it. So like, oh, then we got that, and then a couple months later, oh, then you're gonna have that, and then a couple months later, oh, and then by the way, they're gonna have that. And so to me, the biggest disappointment about D23 is if D23 continues down this path, they're kind of remove the need for D23, in my opinion, because it's going to be such a thing of like, if you're not really going to give us like the event that D23 used to be, this big event where you got these massive things, it's just going to be like, well, here's a nice show, but you know, we'll really give you the real in 2 months or another 3 months down the road. It's like, so I hope it doesn't go that way, but you know, it was completely disappointing at that level because there was nothing huge about it. Nothing.
Yeah. Should we go to Walt Disney World?
Oh, sure. I mean, were you done with Disneyland? I guess we're done.
Yeah, because there wasn't much to talk about.
There wasn't much. I mean, so overall, before we get to Disney World, I mean, overall grade letter for DCA and Disneyland for what we heard. F.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything we heard for DCA is great.
Yeah, I mean,
going back to Avengers Campus, I kind of thought it was going to be a take on the Flight of Passage from Pandora at Animal Kingdom,
too.
Whatever it is. Have you been on that? You haven't been out there, have you?
No, hopefully next summer.
Oh, it's super, super awesome. It's kind of like Soarin' in a way, but you have a different kind of ride system where you kind of like straddle a banshee dragon kind of thing.
Yeah.
If there was a ride that was like that, do you think that's too similar to Soarin' to where it wouldn't be a good idea to have it? Even though it's really cool.
I wouldn't care.
I wouldn't care.
I wouldn't care either. Me neither. I just want it. I think it'd be kind of cool. I mean, you have two. It's almost like when you compare Small World to Pirates of the Caribbean. Like it's the same boat, but it's like it's a different attraction.
Right.
Same thing. Yeah. I'm kind of a hypocrite because I'm like, oh, Spider-Man is too similar to Toy Story Mania, but then I'm like, well, it's just a ride system. It's just a different ride with it, so maybe it's okay to have that. I think Soarin' and like a Flight of Passage would kind of fall into the same category. Mm-hmm. Like, bring it on. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Different enough.
All right, so we say overall grade for DCA. You say an A or B?
Oh, no, I would go B plus.
B plus. Okay. Disneyland?
Because to get an A, you'd have to address the problem with Hollywood Studios. The Hollywood area.
Yeah.
It's really bad, right? Something needs to happen there. And don't get me started. We need a show in the Hyperion.
Yep.
If you're talking about a value, like you're going to charge this much for a ticket into California Adventure. Mm-hmm. The Hyperion Theater is crucial to that. Like that is an e-ticket for DCA that just has been mothballed. They're not even talking about anything in there.
Maybe I missed it, but isn't there some sort of Captain America musical thing that they do? Mm-mm. Steve Rogers thing?
Okay, there's
that
a
thing?
Joke to say, in Hawkeye, there is like a Captain America musical in the TV show. And everyone's been joking like, oh, wouldn't it be great to have that in Hyperion?
Yeah, and they carried that
and ironically,
through,
they performed it. They performed it at D23 and everyone's like, oh, this would be so great at Hyperion. It'll be funny once.
Yeah.
These shows could last 10 years. You don't want this, tongue-in-cheek joke to be there for a decade.
Okay.
Give us Tangled, the live musical, or Encanto, or Moana. Give us some kind of like Broadway in training treatment. Yeah. When they do these Broadway shows, they always kind of do a rehearsal of it somewhere else. Just give us something like that for Hercules had it recently too, where that's going to open up on Broadway soon. Like, why couldn't we have done a Hercules? There's a word for it and I'm forgetting it, but like, it'd be really cool to see it like a workshop for one of these shows. DCA.
Yeah.
Because here's the other thing. I'm a big musical theater guy. Okay. I love seeing shows like that. I think it'd been really cool I think it's important for kids to see that kind of stuff because that could like change their life. It might be the only time they see a show like this, and they got to see it at California Adventure.
Oh yeah.
I just think it's really sad that they don't have that anymore, and they're not turning on entertainment right now for that. So I can't give it an A because they didn't talk about some real troubled areas of DCA.
Okay. All right. Now Disneyland.
I'm gonna give that probably a D.
Yeah,
D for Disneyland.
There you go. D
Great.
for Disneyland. Absolutely. Okay.
That's because it's Tomorrowland. It's just awful.
Tomorrowland and the Treehouse. We got nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It isn't like we're making it up. Like, oh yeah, I wonder if they're doing anything to the Treehouse. Yeah, they are. It's
right there.
Yeah, it's right
Clearly,
there.
it's being worked on.
But so I don't think they service the fans too well with that.
No.
Okay, let's go across. Let's wrap it up with going to Walt Disney World.
Okay, positive.
And what if we went there? I'm joking.
Yeah.
Oh God, don't get me started.
Sky's really blue if we go over there.
Yeah, sky's
Walt
with
Disney World. If you've been noticing, people weren't too thrilled about these big barges at Epcot, right? There's two new shows that opened up for the 50th. There was Enchantment and Harmonious. Both are okay shows, right? But like for Harmonious, it had these 4 huge barges that are just permanently locked into place in the middle of the lagoon.
Okay.
And they are not popular. People, really bummed out about it. And, I wanted to wait and judge it until I got to see it. And when I saw it, I'm like, okay, this show better be good enough to justify having these things be out there. And it's not good enough to have these things ruin the sightlines of it, right? It just looks like a lot of tech. It's a lot of like truss and this and that. And I'm like, what are they showing on these screens? It's like just footage. Like, okay, well, why couldn't that have been a water screen? Or why is that so important to show? Because that was blocking the view the whole time throughout the day, just so you could show this. It just didn't make sense. I didn't think they should have had that. But anyway, they announced the show is replacing Harmonious. So it is yet to be said if the barges are going away, or if they will utilize those barges. So I think that's interesting that they're discussing that. Positives is they also said Happily Ever After is coming back. It's a fireworks show at Magic Kingdom, so that's good news too. Okay, Epcot is definitely still under the knife for its extreme makeover, right?
Yes.
Future World is turning into like these different districts of like World Celebration and World Discovery and whatnot. The Moana thing at Epcot, it's fine. It's interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not sure why it's in Epcot. I'm not sure why it's not somewhere else. But like, okay, I'll wait till I see it. Here's what really kind of got me going. For the past few D23s,
those are barges.
They have not mentioned anything about Journey into Your Imagination. This is one of the worst rides I've ever been on in any Disney park ever. Like, I'm going to say this, and I'm not even joking. Superstar Limo is better than Imagination, right? And and as much as they use Figment on every bit of merch for every festival, like, okay, let's give Figment a ride that's not embarrassing. And the current version of this ride has been in existence longer than the original version, which is basically like Epcot's It's a Small World. It's one of those things that was a little dated, right? But like, it was like, well, so Small World. Like they didn't keep it around long enough for it to be a cool vintage, right? If it was still around, it would have been really kind of cool and trippy, but they could have updated what was there. And so Josh Tomorrow shows a picture of Imagination Pavilion, and everyone saw that, and they're like, this is it. They're going to address it.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't care. Is it inside out? Give it to us. Give us anything that you could do for Figment. And he shows a picture of the outside of the pavilion, and then he starts showing pictures of Figment, and he's talking like for a minute about, how important Figment is, and imagination, and blah, blah, blah. And then he just says in the last breath, and you're going to get a meet and greet one of these days. Moving on.
Yeah.
Wait,
what?
A meet and greet? Another meet and greet? Like you're building up to something huge, and like it's needed, and you just said a meet and greet. it moved on. I'm like, that was like the second blow after Tomorrowland. That was like, I was down for the count after that.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, no.
No.
Wow.
sad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
So
okay.
the rest of it was the what if.
Yeah,
right?
there
Yeah.
was something. I mean, because we don't really cover these parks so much, so we don't know a whole lot about them. But what was the thing with Animal Kingdom or something? They're changing the dinosaur area or Dino Land. I don't even know what that is.
Well, no, that's one of those things that's like not going to happen. There's all this weird banter that they were doing on stage about like, oh, am I allowed to show this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's such an act.
Yeah.
But they have concept art, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But they even were making it clear to say like this isn't gonna happen. We're just kind of spitballing here. They were showing what it would look like if there was a Moana area
Mm-hmm.
and a Zootopia area
Mm-hmm.
where Dino Land currently is.
Mhm.
And the crowd's going nuts, right? They're seeing this beautiful artwork.
Yes.
It was gorgeous, right? It's like
Oh, yeah.
an idea's cool, but it's so blue sky. They're like, is that a water ride? Like, is that like a Splash Mountain type of attraction for Moana? And like, okay, that's a spinning thing, and okay, that looks like Zootopia, where dinosaur is. Does that mean it's gonna be the dinosaur ride system, which is our Indiana Jones?
Oh yeah.
Which is fine. It's cool. Like I think that's great. It's just they're spitballing ideas, but then I go back to like, well, then why can't you talk about the projects that you are working on?
Totally.
you know,
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
That's what this is for.
Yes.
And then the other one was some stuff behind Thunder Mountain, as they put it.
Yeah. That got me kind of pissed off, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I do think there needs to be a Coco attraction and an Encanto attraction. I do want that.
I agree with Coco.
I wouldn't have sold it as a like behind Frontierland, behind Thunder, because I think that made people think that it was an extension of Frontierland, which is
yes.
because the feedback I heard was, oh, how does Encanto and Coco fit in Frontierland?
Yeah,
Well,
it does.
I didn't take it as that. I took it
yeah.
as their lands would be placed back then.
Yeah.
They also said a villain's land, which would be really cool.
Oh yeah.
And they've been teasing that for
a while.
years.
Forever.
At least,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But that's the thing is like with Hong Kong Disneyland, they expanded behind the river. Obviously, we did with Galaxy's Edge.
Yes.
Florida hasn't even talked about that. So of course they're looking at what would they do behind the river to connect Thunder to Fantasyland. And I'd be all for I don't know if it's like a Latin area to have Coco and Encanto, which maybe that's what it should be, right? See,
Yeah.
I'd rather have lands that you could fit multiple IPs into instead of having an IP as the whole land.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that fit like in Epcot? Maybe like the World Showcase or whatever they call that area?
Oh, 100%.
Okay,
100%.
Yeah.
But think about this. For the Coco ride, if it was to go in Mexico, well, they're going to be stuck with the ride system that they have there, right? So they're kind of handcuffed to what exists, kind of like how they did for Frozen. They couldn't do a lot about Frozen. They were tied to what the Norway ride was, Maelstrom. So I kind of like the idea of not being tied to that. I'm like, okay, Blue Sky, what would you want to do for Coco? Oh, well, it'd be really cool if we did this or that. But for Encanto, that house is pretty sweet. Like you could do a really cool Mystic Manor type trackless attraction that goes through the house.
Yeah.
For that. But and then for villains, who knows? So I don't know. I'd rather Toy Story Land. Like I don't know. I don't need a land based on a movie.
No, I don't think so either. All right. Well, D23, I guess, was not what we expected. I mean, at the end of the day, though, I'm glad we have something. I'm glad the parks are open. I'm glad we have stuff to complain about.
Yeah. We must sound like we're totally ungrateful. At least I hope I don't come off that way.
No.
There was expectations there, and we really do care about this stuff, and we know everyone works hard on it.
Yeah.
But like there was really kind of things that were set in the stage that were misleading with the way it was being presented, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was like kind of the letdown was pretty
huge.
Yeah, it was a pretty good.
Well, what if it was intentional? What if, honestly, who knows? What if it was kind of like, hey, they think Tomorrowland's coming. What if they wrote the script like that? as a tease. We don't know.
We have no idea.
I mean, we can go really, really, really like positive and conspiratorial. They did it on purpose to have everybody deflate and go like, and then they're gonna drop it on us like, boom, hey, by the way, we didn't tell you then, but we're telling you now. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go happy right there.
Yeah,
that's gonna be my happy thought.
Yeah, I mean, like, because like I just go back to like two things. The Disneyland Flex Pass, AP Flex Pass, that thing came out of nowhere. Absolutely overnight.
Yeah.
It just showed up. I'm thinking, okay, this is actually something I might get. And I did. And then Disneyland Forward just dropped in the middle of the night. And I knew nothing about that prior to that coming out. Did you know anything about that when it came out?
No idea.
See, and if Sam didn't know, then no one's going to know.
That's my point. Like I want to stay positive because again, knowing where we are in the history and the timeline of the park, they need wins right now. They need big things. They need these things that begin to pull people back in for a myriad of reasons. But these are the things that would pull people back in and get them hyped to go back. And I'm not talking just about the hardcore us. You know, the people who are fans of the park. We're going to be going. We will spend our time and energy there. But more so for the other people who would come in maybe once every 2 years or 5 years or once in a lifetime. To get people who are to get them to come back. Okay, so the person's like, okay, I plan on doing a one and done, and then they get there and go like, you know what, actually, I want to do that more. I want to go more often.
Yeah.
And these are the kind of wins that they need. They need to. They're always going to try to expand the brand, and we get all that, but right now they need that in a big way.
Yep.
So I'm hoping.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah. And like, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I don't know if we're going to end this yet, but after that day of like soaking in this, like, I am disappointed about the presentation.
Yeah.
I took the family to Disneyland that afternoon and, which, you know, we have a blast every time we go.
Of course.
But my kids were watching me watch Josh D'Amaro up on stage, right? Like they were like, just kind of sitting there going, oh, cool. The Incredible Hulk. Like they were just going along with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They were watching it with me. Well, we walked into Disneyland, and in Town Square, I saw Josh D'Amaro walking in, and I'm like, "Hey," to my kids, "Hey, look at that guy," and they knew right away. They're like, "Hey, we watched him talk for like an hour and a half. Like we just watched that."
Yeah.
And then my son always says, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be the next Walt Disney," because he's an aspiring artist too.
Cool.
Okay.
And he's always like, he loves Walt Disney, which is of course right. Like I always talk about Walt Disney, make sure he knows it's an actual person.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be the next Walt Disney." Well, I told him, I'm like, "Hey, see that guy over there? Go tell him that." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like we've all heard that Josh D'Amaro has this cool rep where like he will take a picture with you. I think he likes the selfies with the fans.
Yeah.
Like I've never really heard of him saying no. And he was with a bunch of like, you know, bunch of suits and tour guide and whatnot. So we were walking by and we kind of crossed paths and I'm like, "Hey, Sammy, tell him." Well, he tells him, like, "Hey, I'm going to be the next Walt Disney." I'm not even kidding. Josh D'Amaro stops what he was like in mid-conversation probably. He stops what he was doing. He kneels in front of my kiddo and he's like, "You know what? I believe in you. You are going to be the next Walt Disney."
I love that.
Oh, nice.
It was so awesome. He like stopped what he was doing to give a little inspiration to my kiddo. And I'm like, "See, I liked them before this. Like, yeah, I'm disappointed with the announcement."
But you had your opening. You know, dude, people mover now.
Yeah, right. I should have said that. Yeah. Tell him to open the people mover.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
No, but that is great. Yeah,
that is great. Yeah.
It was pretty cool. Like he's a good guy, and I think he means well. I just think he was in a place where he couldn't announce everything. Like there's reasons for it, and we're not really savvy to all that.
We are not privy to such conversations, but I would tell you, I do plan on being at the next D23. I think Udi's going to go too. He mentioned that at least. Well,
we go back and forth all the time.
I want to go to one of them. I guess at least for a day. I think.
You definitely should. Pretty cool. Like I've been to. This is like the first one I did not go to. I didn't go to this one.
Okay. Right on.
I highly recommend it, but at the same time, if you have to camp out overnight to get in this room,
Oh.
Just be warned, it might not be awesome.
Yeah.
No.
We build our hopes up.
From what I was seeing, some people on YouTube showed there was some like overflow auxiliary hall they were showing it in on a screen.
Right.
I'd be happy with that. I don't need to be seeing it live or in the same room.
Yeah.
But I just want to go see the merchandise, see some of the presentations, not the panel stuff, but like Walt Disney Imagineering had a big thing there. I want to go see that and maybe run into Sam Carter. Who knows who's down there?
Mm-hmm. Well,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next time you come down, for sure.
Absolutely did.
Yeah. Well, that story about running into Josh tomorrow it goes back to the story I told earlier about our other listener.
Yeah.
And you don't know this story. I think I'll tell you the story offline so it doesn't get repeated on the show because I already told it on the prior part of the show. But that's one of the things that you got to love about the park is that you don't know who you're going to run across. You never know who you're going to walk across. You don't know who you're going to see. You don't know who you may encounter in the park. And having a place like that, and I think this all plays into why we give it so much of our energy, time, and attention, is because we all recognize that the positivity and the growth that you can have in a place like that it is very difficult to match. And just because you have so many positive people in there that you can't help but have that feeling, and then to be able to run across big, high people up, in importance. I mean, we've run across actors. We've all run across an actor or an actress or other people in the park.
Yeah. People
that we may idolize or look up to, and then the ability to have that there is very, very unique. And I think that's one of the beauties of that park. And I'll tell once we stop, I'll read you. I'll tell you the story. I think you may find this one to be cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, so yeah, we will end it there then. And listeners, you can learn more about Sam Carter by checking out his page at samcarterart.com. And you can listen.
Right.
And you can listen to him on Nostalgia's Fast Pass. And how often does that come out? Every week?
Every week. Yeah, every Friday. Fast Pass Friday, we call it.
Oh, Fast.
What I do like about it is we named it, Fast Pass right before they're like, hey, we're getting rid of Fast Pass.
Yeah.
Lightning Lane.
Yes.
Just named our show this.
Are you going to change your name to Lightning Lane now?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, please don't.
Please don't. And then your socials. What it's
Carter.
Tartar sauce.
Tartar sauce. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very active on Twitter. Instagram too.
Instagram too. But okay, awesome. All right. So listeners, go check out his work, and we think you'll like it a lot. I know we were talking about before we got on air about stuff we want to get, and we will do that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, all right, listeners, we hope you enjoy the show, and feel free to leave your comments to us, and we'll pass them along to Sam, or you can reach out to Sam. Yeah?
Yeah, awesome. Hey, thanks, buddy.
Of course, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, listeners, that was a very cool interview with Sam. Always grateful for his time. What you guys don't know is that it's late on our end, but don't worry, we're doing it because we enjoy doing it. So, and we wanted to wrap that up, but I want to say again, thank you so much, Sam, for taking time out of your evening to talk to us and share your thoughts about D23 and a lot of other things that didn't make the cut, but that's how it is.
Yeah.
Again, if you want to follow his or check out some of his work, go to samcarterart.com. Yep. He's got a lot of interesting takes on Disney stuff and his own original stuff and other pop culture things, I guess is the right phrase.
Yep.
Super cool. And then also follow him on his socials at Carter Sauce. All right. So again, this is going to wrap up episode number 160. My name is Mark, and you can reach us at info@leavingtodaypodcast.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, and everything is on there that you need. We have a link tree to our Patreon stuff, our TeePublic stuff, and everything else on there. And if you want to DM us on there, that's awesome as well. We have a lot of cool content coming your way, a lot of good interviews coming up, a lot of good shows we've got in the works. So we do appreciate your taking the time to look for those in the future. Udi, where can people find you?
You can find me on my other podcast, The Mando Show. We have currently our review up for the Andor series for the first 5 episodes. That is up and available now. And if you didn't catch that by the name, we are a Star Wars podcast there. We mainly cover The Mandalorian, but anything Star Wars that crosses our eye line, we go at. So that's where we are. You can find me there. You can also find me on my Instagram page, which is HAXGOALIE, Hacks Goalie. That is where I'm mostly active. DM me there. I respond to all my DMs, and I don't Twitter, not yet. Maybe soon.
Okay,
All
gotcha.
right.
All right. So again, thank you so much for listening to us, taking the time to however it is you're doing, spending your day. It's awesome. It helps. If you feel inclined, please leave us a review on iTunes. We would appreciate it. Until then, we love you. Adventures out there, and we will see you in the parks.
See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Disneyland is now ended its normal operating day. We hope you enjoyed your visit to the Magic Kingdom and that the memories you've made will bring you back again soon.
Sure, it can't be any worse than your whiskey and Coke from yesterday morning. Think of a banana.
Does it help? Okay.
Always does. Every time. Don't ask me why. But you make me hot. It's so close, I can feel it.
Kitty.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Boy, was my face red.